Come on. Ain't no party like a cowboy party. Come on, baby. Be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit the like button. Share this content. Let that friend or that neighbor know where to go when it's time to rock out with the nation. Come on. Mama said there'll be days just like this. Come on.
Ready? Run from it. Destiny arrives all the same. And now it's here. Or should I say, I am.
Let's go. Cowboys, free agency talk, trauma, bonding. Come on. We're going to talk about it all. Come on. Stand to your feet. Let's get this show on and popping, baby. Let's get it. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and let me know. Put a 1 down in the chat if the audio is straight. Let me know. And 1. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Come on. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. Appreciate it. I got a lot of ones here. So, yeah. So, the Cowboys going through a little trauma bonding with the fan base. They are traumatized. And I get it. I understand. And when you're looking for solutions, you trying to find the reasons of why your pain is there. And sometimes you can overanalyze some stuff. The Cowboys heading into the 2024 season is reminded of the past. The only team that to lose in the playoff. Everybody else, all 31 other teams, they done won the Super Bowl. They are by far the best organizations. They got the best culture, according to Cowboy fans. That here's what I have here. Is that we are the only ones that falls into the aspect that everything is in turmoil. Everything is bad. So from my understanding, from what most people are exhibiting and exuding, that the reason why the Cowboys lost to the Green Bay Packers was because they did tours during the season and also during the playoff. And it's because of the Cowboys' legacy and the history that they have people to do tours during the season and tap on glasses while they work out. Now, here's the thing, and I know this for sure, that there's no tapping of the glasses. There's no walking close up to the glasses and pointing and saying, okay, this is the player that needs to step it up, because they don't allow it, by the way. But somehow that Cowboy fans rationalize that, hey, we somehow were able to win 16 games in a row at the Arlington Stadium, right? But on the 17th game, by it being a playoff game, by them allowing certain things as it relates to touring, that caused the most for this team to lose. Like Dan Quinn didn't have nothing to do with it. Like the play of the quarterback, by the way, in the first series or such had nothing to do with it. By it being at large, that even the offensive line, Solari, and as well as with the running back, Tony Pollard, they didn't have nothing to do with it. But everything had to do with the touring. If we stop the tours, the Cowboys will be able to lift up that Lombardi trophy. That's the thing. God dog. That's
where the guts went, just dropped them.
When you guys base your argument over anecdotal information, even if it's out of 35 or even if it's out of 53 players, and you have maybe one or two people who's disgruntled about the organization on how they operate things. Excuse me, Cole Beasley spoke out with that. And we heard Marcus Spears spoke out a bit against culture. And also we heard, by the way, Dalton Schultz speak out about things. Doesn't mean that collectively that over here at the Star in Frisco, everything is in shambles. Because if that is the case, ladies and gentlemen, hear me out. I don't think you win 12 games. I don't think you win it. I don't think you win 12 games. And on top of that, if it will be this thing right here, if it's not anecdotal information, then that should be where Schultz went to. They should have won the Super Bowl. Why? Because they was given a better opportunity to work out without someone watching. They was given a better opportunity with trainers being better employed there. They should have been given an opportunity better because of the history and the legacy of the Texans. They should have multiple rings. But here's the thing. If you had a tour for the Texans, who is their greatest quarterback of all time? Carr's their greatest quarterback of all time. That tour will be like walking you through my house, right? Their best player of all time, I think, is J.J. Wilk. No, not J. What's J.J. last name? Y'all help me out. That would be their best player. You guys get what I'm saying? These are not apples and apples. I've talked to a person who was J.J. Watt. Yeah, that's his name. That's their greatest player ever, you know. That's their greatest player, J.J. Watt. You know, come on, man. How long will that tour would be, you know? Yeah, come on, man. J.J. Watt is their greatest player ever. Now, C.J. have an opportunity and a chance, and we will see what C.J. look like the next year or what have you. But what I'm saying here is, ladies and gentlemen, I get it. Two things can be true, and I will be a fool to say, hey, the Cowboys have nothing going on as far as a negative connotation with their organization. But damn it, a tour is not that. You know, come on, man. I get it. Y'all want a trauma bond, and when you trauma bond, when you sit back and say to yourself, hey, we going through these issues. I know you going through these issues. Let's hug and let's have a be fit about all of this. No, come on, man. You know, Law, and this is Sanjay says, Law, not everyone is lying. Schultz was telling the truth. The message may hurt, but it don't ignore the fact. Winning is not the number one priority. So the number one priority in Texans is, and how they're doing it with that particular organization and franchise, is winning the number one priority for the Texans. I just need to know, Sanjay, two things can be true. And how come they were not 12-5, 12-5, and 12-5 the previous years? What is going on with the Texans? What is going on with the Minnesota Vikings? What is going on? What is the priority fact for the Cincinnati Bengals? What are the priority facts for these other teams? What's going on? And K. Carter, I get it. Two things can be true. When I eat at my crib, guess who eat first? Law. The kids don't eat first. So am I a bad dad? Because the rule set the culture at my house, I eat first. Am I a bad dad? Should the kids eat first and then Law? Should daddy-law eat last? But when the lady prepared the food for me, I eat first. What's going on? Two things can't be true. What it is that when we look at one incident and we're not comparing it and contextualizing it all, then you will sit back and say to yourself that, hey, the Cowboys are the only one with the problems. The Cowboys are the only one with the issues. Yes, Flip, yeah, the Bengals went to the Super Bowl. Did they win it? So are you saying that there you say that you should be a Bengals fan because they've been to the Super Bowl to never win it? Or that is what you're saying? Y'all got to make sense with all of this. Or that's what you're saying. Now, granted, the Cowboys do have their flaws and issues. That's not the thing that we're not talking about. That's not the things that we're not talking about. The youngest franchise, and they won playoff games, unlike the Dallas Cowboys coming to the bottom. So, Sanjay, should you rant and rip your clothes off and be a Texans fan because of where they at far as playoff wins? should you look at both sides of the coin and equally justify those things? Because two things can be true, like I said. Nope. So at the end of the day, when we talking about tours, show of hands give me a 1 in the chat if you ever been on a tour to the Dallas Cowboys, start in the Frisco Stadium. And let me know, with the show of hands, are you able to tap on the glass? The answer to that is no. But show me the people that went on these tours that all of a sudden, that was the distraction. The tour. Let me know. Let me know. And were you a major impact to the game by you touring the Cowboys Stadium to Star in Frisco? Let me know. Have you caused some type of rift between the locker room because you are touring the Cowboys? That don't make sense. That don't make sense. All of these universities and colleges, they have tours. When they take when they try to convince a player or someone to join their particular faculty or staff or beyond, they have actual tours that interrupt during the classes. That's just what it is. It's more distracting on game day. Yeah, they don't have tours during game day. Yeah, it don't make sense, y'all. And I get it. Most people will say, hey, the money over the wins. How come the other teams are not beating up this situation? Because it's only happened in Dallas. Huh? How come when the 4-letter to 3-letter network, if Dalton Schultz played for, dare I say, the Atlanta Falcons and said the exact same thing on the McCaffrey show, would that been headline news? No. No. And from a feedback aspect, can somebody let me know where the Chiefs are rated at far as culture is concerned? That's the other side of it. And I get it. I understand. But let's listen to the audio here and listen to the full context.
But, when you get to Houston, is it vastly different than your time in Dallas whenever you're talking about all the off the field? Is it? Is that real?
That was one of the first things that kind of stuck out to me is, it feels like much more, I don't want to say college because it's not, but, the focus is just football, you know what I mean? And going back and telling some people how kind of being around the Cowboys practice facility and game day, describing some of the interactions and stuff that you see.
Let me stop them right here. Do they have a Roger Staubach in that building? Put it like this. If the Texans had a Roger Staubach who was still alive and won multiple championships for them, and if the Texans had a Troy Aikman who won multiple championships for them, right? And Texas is football factory. People live, breathe, and eat and see football all around. Look, right down the street in Duncanville and DeSoto, they got people that look like they can play for the Cowboys. If the Texans had a winning situation, would they have tours? Would they have people? I had someone who was the age, and I'm gonna repost some of this. Shout out to Soup Man. He did a noble thing. The lady was 73 years old. She grew up her whole entire life loving and wanting to see the Cowboys and wanted to get a taste and the feel and the vibes. But one of the things that she never could been able to do is to get here to Texas to see those things. And on her wish list was to do a tour at the Star in Frisco. So you mean to tell me that poor lady in November should have been turned away at the door because of the Cowboys currently are not winning, so that they should say, hey, baby, we love you. We understand that you grew up loving the Cowboys, and Roger Staubach is one of your greatest players that you can ever come to memory. And then you, for the season going on, we're going to say, no, you can't have this tour lady. Because the Cowboys are only focused on winning. And by them doing a tour can distract the players. A tour. Come on, man. That lady had the best time of her life. And on top of that, I get it. We were not successful in the postseason. But those are excuses. When somebody say stop the excuses, those are excuses. Those are excuses. Y'all didn't give a damn when my mom passed away. Y'all didn't give a damn when my uncle passed away. The number still said, hey, law, pose. Y'all don't give a damn if these players lose their moms. Y'all don't give a damn if these players get hurt and laid out on the field. Take less money. Every player's a Ron Shazier hit away. But a third of y'all saying, I don't care. Take less money. We like it. We trying to win ultimately. We don't care about your feelings. We don't care about your hurts, your pain, and turmoil. We don't care. We want to win the freaking Super Bowl at the end of the day. That's the reality of it. This is a gladiator sport, and all y'all care about is the W, which it should be the number one priority. But what about that lady? Huh? So she should put off and hold off and not see Roger Staubach in the tour? And if you guys absolutely did a tour, you notice when players are absolutely lifting and working out, the tour guys say, hey, we got to move it along. Or when there is a media production going on, hey, we got to move it along. Oh, and on top of that, no cameras. Put that camera down. Keep it moving. That's the reality, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all don't care. And y'all would take heed to an actual guy that his feelings is soft like a feather on a baby's bottom, and he blocking everybody. But now you want to value what Dalton Schultz bring to the table as it relates to his thoughts and his mindset. If the Texans would have moved on for him, he probably would have said something bad about the Texans. Y'all got to stop being soft and weak-minded and giving these players and giving the owners and giving everything. Oh, man, the reason why they lost is because of the god doggone tour. No, Dan Quinn was already thinking about getting another job elsewhere. Had nothing to do with tour. When Dak Prescott threw that interception to CeeDee Lamb, had nothing to do with this tour. Had nothing to do with his preparation and preparing for the game. Had nothing to do with it. Just like with the 16 weeks of them winning at the crib, had nothing to do with the tour. But meddling do when the owner is meddling with the coaching staff and dictating who should be on the field, that's more than a damn tour. So y'all miss me with, oh, man, you know the reason why. Coaches got to coach. Owners got to get out of the way. But at the end of the day, the tour had nothing to do with anything.
You see on a day-to-day basis, like, surprise a lot of people. They're like, holy crap, like, that actually happens, like, at a practice facility. And, like, you know, it's just, you think it's normal, and then you come to a place like this.
Like what? You don't have to out anything, but like, what are you?
No, dude, it's just like there's people literally going on tour.
Got a super chat. Appreciate you, Kenneth. He says, I believe when we hear the word culture, Dalton is showing us the mindset of the players, weak-minded. Let me just read this. In the Kansas City Chiefs, they are ranked 29th in the NFL by the Players Association first team report card. In the Kansas City Chiefs, they are ranked near the bottom of the NFL and NFL Association. Its first of the year NFL report card, which provides, shout out to you, Terrence Brown, 32 NFL organizations to grade the things from food quality, training room, strength coaches, as well as treatment of families in the locker room. You say, some people looking for excuses will say, man, I'm from Natchez, Mississippi. Oh, man, the population is very small. And, you know, the good thing to be in the Natchez, Mississippi is to be either maybe a school teacher or work at Walmart. Those are the two highest probably consecutive or consistent income that you can make in Natchez, Mississippi. I guess my destiny is, since I'm from a small town, is that, because that is the culture of Natchez, Mississippi. Whereas you have if you take me and Vach Lombardi away from the YouTube community, you're taking away millions of thoughts and impressions. We could have both sat back and said, hey, since we from a small hometown, we shouldn't be known. We shouldn't go out there and work. We should bow down to the worlds in society. Or we could use the equivalency of, since we are both people of color, that we shouldn't be able to excel in our particular fields of study. No. Those are what you call excuses. Now, far as the coaching aspect, in the general manager aspect, in the free agency, that is a whole different situation. But none of this stuff have to do with somebody taking a freaking tour. And I tell you what, since y'all are complaining and mad about it, do me a huge favor. Take off your Cowboys apparel. Don't go to the games. Don't show up for the tours. Don't even entertain anything as it relates to the Cowboys, and you be on yourself. Merry self. And there's 31 other flavors of teams that you can root for. 31 other flavors of teams. Because even Tex Schramm was doing these type of things before Jerry Jones bought the team. We were innovative. We were the first team to have cheerleaders on the sidelines. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm lying. Was it about football when we put the cheerleaders on the sidelines? Yes or no? Come on, let me know. Don't spend your gears. Don't spend your money. Let me know. Did Tex Schramm do those and implemented those things? Let me know if I'm lying. I will hush. I'll cut the whole stream off. Stop buying tickets. Go cry elsewhere. Root for the other teams and see how that's going. Based off of Dalton Schultz words that the Texans should win the Super Bowl. Based off of his words and his anecdotal experiences of the Cowboys.
While you're lifting in the weight room, and they've got like a one-way mirror for people to like look at. Like it's a zoo, dude.
One-way mirror. One-way mirror
on the glass, like trying to get people's attention as they're doing, power cleans or whatnot. And it's different. And I mean, that's the brand that they've built. That's what Jerry Jones likes. That's the way that they run things. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, you don't realize like how many, eyeballs and how much that can maybe, distract from, stuff just in the locker room, being in the facility, until you go somewhere else and you're like, holy crap, like, dude, there's none of that. Like, this is, also a really well-run organization in Houston. And I think that was one of the things that kind of scared me about like leaving Dallas the most, is like, I wasn't sure what another organization would kind of feel like. And dude, I got here and it was like, this place is a well-oiled machine. Like it's, coaching staff, the coaching changes. I can't speak to the previous stuff, but like the strength staff is phenomenal. The training staff is unbelievable. This has been the most like trainers that I've ever seen on a staff, and they take really amazing care of the players. The nutrition staff is phenomenal. The chefs, they came in and they poached like 5 of the best chefs in the Houston area, and they paid them a bunch more. And they're like, come.
With that being said, and on that detailed report from Kansas City Chiefs ranked 29th, they have a terrible nutrition staff. They have a terrible food catering people. They have terrible strength and conditioning coachings over there. And they're winning. And they're flat out winning. And here's one thing. 2 things can be true. Not saying that just because they're winning, let's adapt the Kansas City Chiefs mentality and mindset. Because this was an in-house voting thing that they all spoke out against over there in Kansas. But they're winning. And it's not on the front page news. It's not on the back page news. Damn it, you got to search through anything and everything just to get this information. But at the end of the day, what you expect him to say? Oh, man, there's sunshines and rainbows here. Let me ask y'all this. who had a better season last season? A second-year Jake Ferguson with all of those distractions, I guess, and those tour dates, or Dalton Schultz? Y'all let me know. Let's get real with it. Yeah. Look, right now in a pinch, who do you want on your team, a Dalton Schultz or Jake Ferguson? I need to know. I definitely want to know who had the better season and who do you prefer as your tight end one right now. Come on, man. So with all of that stuff being pampered and babyfied and with the pacifier in the mouth, he didn't generate better numbers? He wasn't the pivotal guy on the field? It didn't help you? Now, I get it, man. I understand, and, I understand where most people are coming from because the trauma bonding is real. Some of y'all are bonding together. Some of y'all saying that, yeah, man, what he's saying is 1,000,000% right. I love it. Law Nation is the bad guy. Law Nation is the reason why the Cowboys are losing, by the way. He is the delusional one, right? And the word fanatic is from the word fan is from the word fanatic, and they don't even know the definition of what a fan's supposed to be, but that's okay. I'm not lying, Sanjay. You tell me what game you go to. You tell me how much you support this organization and franchise. What are you trying to say here? What you trying to say? Dalton couldn't block it all. I feel you. Bad man Ferguson, let's go. So if you have the feeble mind of saying that the only reason why the Cowboys are losing is because of not, put it like this. I tell you what, from y'all thoughts and from y'all anecdotal information that you guys are super perceiving and saying, so you mean to tell me Jason Garrett wasn't the fault or wasn't the problem here? All we had to do was stop the doggone tours and we would have won multiple Super Bowls? I need to know. Are you saying that Kellen Moore is not the problem nor the fault and not even the players that's on the field? It's these doggone tours. Is that what y'all saying? Is that what y'all implying? Is that what y'all are alluding to? B. Bird, is that what you said? Is that what you said? That the reason why that this team is not able to win because of the focal aspect of the players when they are out there training, or it's because it's the Oxnard situation and trips and things like that. I get it. I understand that everybody want to have a closed meetings and everything of that nature. So when we win, what will be the issues when we win? When we were winning those games, was it an issue then? That's all I'm saying. I just need to know because I'm trying to keep it fair and balanced as much as possible. So is that the situation? Which one is it? It goes back. Either Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones are trash as owners or the players are trash as players. Like, which one is it? Is it both of them, right? I need to know. Culture trauma. Bitter ex-players. Did I read one where it said the rain falls on the just and the unjust? Did I read where, hey, there are situations that you're going to have to look inside yourself and say, greater works is within me that I know for sure that I can get out there and do. Because at the end of the day, heavy is the crown. Heavy is the crown. And I know for sure that there are certain expectations if you plan for the Lakers, right? I know for sure there are certain expectations when you plan for the Bostons. There's certain expectations when you plan for the 49ers, and there's certain expectations when you plan for the Dallas Cowboys. To a degree, there are certain expectations even when you put on the Eagles uniform. And some teams just don't have it. But those are all equipped to excuses at the end of the day. For Dalton Schultz to sit back and say someone is tapping on the glass and he couldn't get his power lift and his clean lifts going. Now, some people are not built to be in spotlights. Some people are not built to speak in front of thousands of people. Did you know that trauma is trauma? And I get it. There's a situation that when military folks, when they leave the Army, when they leave the military, and it's down near to the New Year's or 4th of July, they put out signs and they say, hey, please, man, for the love of God, don't pop your fireworks. This is a veteran. He got trauma. And then when you hear that, and you hear this, that Army vet, military vet guy goes into a mind-boggling situation that he can't quantify whether or not I'm still in the U.S. or I'm at Nam or I'm over there at the Desert Storm. He is traumatized. He got traumatized mind. And for the third of the Cowboy Nation, those who look at this particular team and they're looking for something to bond to, and they immediately thinks that, hey, oh my goodness, that's the issue of what Dalton Schultz is saying, is when they do those tours. Oh man, when his pressure is there, that's why we fold. So we should be nice to all of the Dalton Schultz that will come to this team and say that, hey, there should be invoices or forms, I meant to say, that they will have to sign up and sign and say that, hey, due to the pressure of wearing the silver and blue with the star on the side of the helmet, having legacies like the Roger Staubach, having legacy like Bullet Bob Hayes, Tony Dorsett, and having legacies like Jay Novacek, as well as the playmaker Troy Aikman and that great wall of Dallas, that this job and this responsibility is too big for me to handle because of the history, the historic data that the Cowboys have is too prevalent for me to walk in these particular shoes. And I refuse to play because I'm not going to equip myself enough on the field because there's going to be too many responsibilities, and therefore I got to resign. That should be these players' mindset. Or it should be when they walk through there and they see those 5 Super Bowls sitting on the table, and they should be sitting there saying to themselves, I want to add 2 to that. I want to be able to be the shining star on this particular team so that when I'm dead and gone, there will be a statue erected in my name and my honor of playing with the silver and blue. They should embrace the challenge. Dalton Schultz should embrace the fact that he got a chance to play for the Dallas Cowboys as a tight end and say, hey, Jason Witten, you did a great job, but my job and my duty is to outperform anything that you brought to the table. You and Jay Novacek, that should be their mindset. And if he's come short of anything of that nature, he can hit the door and complain about it and cry about it. That should be the mindset of these doggone players. That when you look at it, yes, this is a facility, a $3.5 billion play plan as what it is. And yes, what's going on the outside of people touring and may get a chance to see me pick my nose, grabbing my ass or whatever, I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to leave nothing on the field when it's time for me to play. Because this legacy that I'm breathing, this is hot doggone things that I'm going to tell you guys that at the end of the day, I didn't look for the bottom hand or the low hand excuses. I made sure that I studied. I made sure that I didn't get a chance to focus my mind on the outside noise because I'm here to lift up a Lombardi trophy. That should be the mindset. I could have stopped millions of years ago, well, thousands of years ago. Oh, excuse me. I could have stopped 6 or 7 years ago. But it is what it is. All right. So with that being said, and I get it, y'all want a trauma bond. Go ahead. Blame me. I got thicker skin than Dalton Schultz and any of these other players. But this should be the mindset of Mike McCarthy to his particular players. Look, you playing for the Cowboys. There's no way around it. This should be, let me get back to this. This should be Mike Zim's mindset to his players. Hey, you playing for the Cowboys. Anything that you do, you scratch your nose, it's going to be on front page news. Hey, if you fool around and walk around with your shoelaces untied, it's going to be on front page news. We are the Dallas Cowboys. There's no way around it. They expect Super Bowl or bust, whether I'm here for only a year and all of these coaching staff is on a 1-year contract. We got to get it out of the mud. That's real, man. They got to talk to each other in that particular tone. If not, then of course, there's going to be 2 or 3 guys at the end of the year on their exit interview when they go to another team. They're going to say, hey, man, yeah, man, you know, the Cowboys, woo-wee. Oh, my goodness, man, we can't win, man. Why? Man, you know, hey, they have pep rallies every other week. They had Jamie Foxx to come out. They had Denzel Washington to appear. Oh, my goodness, man. I just could never focus. But over here, right here in Atlanta, shoot, man, we balling over here. Yeah, we haven't won the Super Bowl, but, hey, man, we balling. Because the focus is only on that. They don't have the rich history that the Cowboys have, unfortunately. But these coaching staff, and, of course, I'm not letting Jerry Jones off the hook. I'm not. But 2 things can be true.
Get your up there, contain the damn ball. This is why we do it. Hey, too many missed tackles. Let's go. We're too damn soft. I just hate mistakes. I hate mistakes.
Here we go, right here.
To piggyback off of what Bucky said, one of the areas that they struggled with execution was the run game. Last year, they were 14th in the league, and Tony Pollard had his lowest yards per carry. Now, we all sort of knew this was going to be an issue heading into the season, didn't we? I mean, we talked about, all right, in the absence of Ezekiel Elliott, who do you have there that can, you know, be a guy up front that can help and open up some of those holes for Tony Pollard? And you didn't. In fact, we're seeing that in the fact that they're letting Tony Pollard test the market as well as Rico Dowdle. It reminds me a little bit of the meme guys of Will Smith walking in the living room and looking around and there's no one there. I'm told that they are very interested in Jonathan Brooks. Who wouldn't be? The Texas running back. They pick at 56. He would be an interesting round 2 guy for them.
I guess, you know, Jonathan Brooks is a situation, whereas the Cowboys, and then I know she mentioned about Tony Pollard coming in for less money, which I get it and I understand. The Cowboys, Stephen Jones, that's his philosophy and principle, right? He's the money man. Jerry Jones is the entertainment man. And those 2 things will always be prevalent and while these 2 guys are living and alive, right? And they might be making notes to pass that down to their particular kids and kids beyond that. So Jonathan Brooks, the Cowboys been known for in the 2nd round going to get troubled players, injured players, or mishapped players or what have you. And Jonathan Brooks is one of the guys that the Cowboys, I believe their team doctor done already performed on his surgery, and he could be a guy that the Cowboys may select with the 56th pick. Jane Slater is saying this because she heard this from somebody in the front office, and she is on the money with this particular research right here because she ain't lying to kick it, right? So let's go with
them. There's also a number of free agents out there. You know, this running backs market is not what it used to be. You've got guys like Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, Saquon Barkley. And so I anticipate that there's going to be a mix of a draft running back as well as possibly a veteran running back, but we'll just have to see how all these numbers. And again, it goes back to Dak. You figure out his contract situation and you'll know what sort of money you have to go shopping. So, you know, as we're talking about memes, it's that stick. Do something, Cowboys.
Do something, Cowboys. So with that being said, should the Cowboys not do anything due to the fact that the culture here is such in shambles, right? Should we just sit back and just not be rooting for this draft pick or not be rooting for anything? I just need to know where y'all at right now. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, right? It's going to be another doom and gloom type of year because of the culture here. Should we spare this man, Tony Pollard, and not bring him back due to the culture, due to the fact that there's a hopeless situation? sarcastically speaking. Speaking of this, Marcus Spears was right on with this right here. Let's
I was
listen.
fortunate enough to play for another organization after spending 8 years in Dallas. I went and played for the Baltimore Ravens, where Ozzie Newsome was the general manager. Harbaugh was the head coach, and I saw Steve Bisciotti twice in 8 months, okay? Stop telling me about coaches. The coach that coaches for Dallas comes in at a deficit.
Wow.
They come in with all of this stuff that they shouldn't have to deal with, that they got to focus on before they even start coaching football. So whether it's Prime or Mike McCarthy or Bill Belichick or Jesus, Jerry Jones is going to be there with the same type of culture that's being created, because it's being created by the guy that writes the checks. And he can do what he wants to do.
All right, so what should we do? Should we, all of the people that said, hey, man, it doesn't matter, man. It don't matter who we draft. It doesn't matter who we bring in as a coach, that based off of Marcus Spears' personal testimony, as well as Dalton Schultz, there's too many people now. Based off of their personal testimony of this team, we done. We fried. We might as well pack up everything. Two things can't be true. What should we do? Why talk about it? Let me know where I'm wrong at. I need to know. Edgerrin Cooper, he won't fit due to the culture. Flip Shelton, he won't fit due to the culture. I need to know. The last 30 years, answer your question, Law. Should I? I'm glad that you fit right on into this particular conversation. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. Add an extra year to it in the last 30 years. Should that be the same conversation for the Miami Dolphins, Vikings, Jets, Bills, Lions, Titans, Chargers, Browns, Raiders, Washington? If that's the case, the Washington is going to win the Super Bowl because they changing out everything. The Washington is going to go all the way to the Super Bowl next year. If that's the case, the Niners, Panthers, Jags, there's plenty of teams that you guys can go run and root for, because by far and large that the reason why we are here where we are at is because of the total sum. I get all of that. Maybe Dalton Schultz is right. What are we doing here? Let me know. Let me know. Droughts for years and been more talented. And guess what? And the craziest thing of it, we've been talented, but we have a meddling owner, which is true, which is flat out true. And a third of those 30 years of droughts, I can sit here and tell y'all, 11 of those years we had Jason Garrett. 3 of those years we had, what's this guy named Dave Campo? And the expectation was still the same. What can they say? What can those other organizations and franchise say? I just need to know. This is where I literally want you guys, when you hear this sound, that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a purging process. To separate the weak. It's supposed to purge out. At the end of the day, I'm a die-hard Cowboy fan, not a die-soft. So all of my die-soft fans right now, they should be purging up out of here. Man, F the Cowboys, man, I'll come back when they win. But was you shining? Were you still standing 10 toes down when we were losing? Some of y'all are not honored to say win, lose, or draw. Some of y'all are saying Cowboys win, 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 or win. That should be the mindset and the battle cry to some of y'all. It's only I'm a Cowboy fan when we win, 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 or win. And that's why I played this song right here.
Spartans, prepare for glory.
He knew that it wasn't going to be possible for him to win the battle. But he went in that battle fighting tooth and nails. And what I'm trying to tell y'all is that if we can't get in front of this with the coaching staff and hold those boys ultimately accountable and the players, because the owner's going to do what they're going to do. I'm old enough to remember that even Troy Aikman, he said that he had to will his team and they had to win in spite of the coaching. But what if I told you that if you're a true and blue fan, that now we're going to have to win in spite of the tools, because they're not going to stop. We're going to have to win in spite of the stadium being $3.5 billion and they doing renovations right now. We can't erase the history and the legacy that we have here. That's unfortunate. We can't erase the greatness that Roger Staubach had. We can't erase the greatness that Tony Dorsett, Drew Pearson. We can't erase those things. But these other organizations, they don't have the length of the legacy that we have. Now, the 49ers may do, and they do. Let me see if another team, maybe, just maybe, when you are running back for the Cleveland Browns, just an added to pressure for Jim Brown and those boys. Maybe, just maybe for the Chicago Bears and, dare I say, the Lions. There's a legacy that when you're running back for them, people are going to compare you to a Barry Sanders, Darryl Sayers for the Chicago Bears. And Walter Payton, shout out to JSU, they're going to compare you to those boys. But you got to look at the total sum. When you playing for the Cowboys, they're going to compare you and hold your feet to the fire to the previous people that ever played this game. You see, a lot of people fail to realize, even when David slew Goliath, I'm preaching to y'all now, is that even when he slew Goliath, his mission and his battleship wasn't over then. Who knew that Goliath had brothers? Who knew that they were pissed off and angry and mad that Goliath was slewed? And the fight and the war wasn't over with. And he had to pick up arms and make sure that his troops were ready to fight the brethren. I come here to tell y'all right now, ladies and gentlemen, the 3-letter, the 4-letter networks are equivalent to the other Goliaths that we're going to have to fight. And there's going to be always somebody nitpicking and always saying that the reason why the Cowboys are not able to win or not able to defeat certain things is because when it don't even have to do with anything. Because I can show y'all over and over again, that Kansas City Chiefs get terrible food, get terrible outcome as it relates to their training room, and then all of a sudden they still lifting up a Lombardi trophy. The ownership may be hands off on a lot of things, but there are some turmoil within the organization. But it had to be, even if the Cowboys were on a drought, just like we are, and we had the same set of circumstances, and if Dalton Schultz was there and they wasn't winning, and he said the exact same thing, no one would even raise an eyebrow. Because that is the reality, ladies and gentlemen. And we fall right into the traps of it, and we fight each other all off season, all through the season, and we playing this song right here. Where my guy at? Riggs! Riggs! I'm getting too old for this, Riggs. But, hey, there are some people, regardless of the situation, they will arise to the occasion. Jake Ferguson shouldn't have that defeative mindset like a Dalton Schultz. Jake Ferguson should have that mindset when people tap the glass. I'm just using this as an analogy that, hey, you better watch me break free this weekend because I'm going to flex on you. You know, I'm not finna fall into the traps of what my compatriot said, you know, when he was on this team or when he left or what have you. And I get it, right? There are going to be situations, there's going to be times when we look back at this team and we say, man, this team should do X, Y, and Z things. But guess what? 31 other teams can be saying the exact same thing. At the end of the day, it's going to be the same issue, even if we didn't have that issue, because the the three-letter network going to be always bringing up the shortcomings. But, you know, it is what it is. Cowboy fans swabbling over distractions. Yeah. Law, we are the Kardashians of football. I give you that. And there's nothing that I can take away from that. But one thing I can tell you is that check out our prize picks. And if you are in the mix, be sure to hit up Prize Picks and use promo code LAW. 100% of your $100 will be matched up of your first deposited. I can tell you yesterday, if you follow my picks, and I shared it with you guys, and I'm going to share my picks again. With you guys as soon as this stream is over with. But let me tell you how I did last night. All right, so we had 6 pick entries. It was a plus. I won $4 from here. I went with Giannis. I went with Steph Curry. I won with the Fox, and I also won with James Harden. I won $4. But that's only the entree meal. But I told you guys that I went with $500 to get $5,000. Law Nation leveraged the situation, and now we won $2,500, and I shared those things with you guys yesterday. Now, there's 2 things. Those who acted upon it, that was right here in the areas where you can go get it, won it also. That's $2,500. I tell you what, this off season, whoever's living in the Texas area, I want y'all to go on a tour. And matter of fact, maybe we'll do another thing. We will incorporate a tour of visiting the Star in Frisco, and we will see how distracting we can be to these players when we go on that tour. But Tobias Harris, I won. You know, with Leonard, we won. George didn't play, and Darian Fox, he played, or what have you, and Jaron Jackson, he played, and we were able to walk off of there with $2,500 using Prize Picks. And shout out to everyone who followed the law commands on that and got extra remunerations in their pockets. And speaking of that, be sure to check out Prize Picks and download it for yourself and use promo code LAW. But what I want to do at this time is,
I ran up a check, I might do it again.
Brought to you by Prize Picks, by the way. Call in. Phone lines are open. 657-390-7391. Come on. Let's get it.
If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up.
Come on. Let's get it.
Euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me.
Come on.
Everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Bankroll, euro, peso, add it up.
Live on Prize Picks. We got the 407. You in the mix, man. Talk to me, bro.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, man. All is well. Can't complain, bro. Talk to me.
All right, so I'm thinking Dallas, they really need to change the culture, but I don't think Dak's the answer, to be honest. And I feel like we need to at least release him and take that $60 million, and then the next few years we just start all over, because every time he's in the playoffs, they're always trailing by so much. And then at the end, his numbers look better.
They look better. Let me ask you this, though. Let me ask you this before you go down there to your thought tracks on this, you know, releasing of Dak Prescott. And I get where you're coming from. Do you drive to work?
I do drive to work.
You do drive to work. How far your job is from your home?
Like 20
20
minutes.
Right. Would you trade in your car, or would you just stop using your car and go get a bike?
All right, that's a good example.
Yeah. So it may not be the car that you want, and I'm not saying that you're not riding a Ferrari. I'm not saying that you're not riding an Aston Martin, what have you. But what I'm saying is you would at least ride to work comfortably instead of just going and stopping your car and saying, you know what, since I don't like my car, let me just go buy this bike. So I get it. With Dak Prescott, this is his last season, right, as far as contractually. And right now the Cowboys been 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. They haven't done that since the 90s. So there are some things that they can improve on in the playoff. But the only problem is that 12-5, 12-5, 12-5, the expectations will not, well, the expectations, of course, is Super Bowl, but we won't be able to see whether or not they improve on it until we get to the playoffs. That's the problem, you know. But we are not 5-12. Most people and most networks try to get us to feel like it's been 5-12, but when we are absolutely 12-5.
If that, I see that the Broncos just released Justin Simmons.
Right,
we need
they
to try
did.
to get him. Then they need to try to get him because he's a good safety, and we need to fix that defense.
How you gonna get the money?
Yeah, you're right.
You're gonna have to do either
have
you're
to
gonna have to extend
that,
Dak Prescott, or you're gonna have to play around with other people's contract. Now there's a restructure, right, that you can do. But it's frowned upon when you restructure someone on the last end of their deal because now you're forcing a lot of money to be dumped off into the voidable years of the contract. And most teams would not do that. So I look at it from this aspect, especially for pennies on a dollar, because the Cowboys, if they restructure, I think that they are only going to save about $5 or $7 million, and that's not enough. So the problem thing is probably they'll look into Michael Gallup. They'll look into Trayvon Diggs. They're looking to Terrence Steele as well as Zach Martin to restructure his contract. That would be a way. Yeah, but I don't think that they would do that, though.
All right, man, Law.
Hey, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Man.
Thank you. Good call from the 407. Yeah. I think I took away his argument when I took away his car. You know, and I know I get it, man. You know, Dak Prescott. The only thing that I can say that outside of the tours that happening in Dallas, and I guess the stadium tours is being a distraction, is also how we handle the contracts. I would rather, if the Cowboys are looking at this contractual situation as the pitfall of the Cowboys, if they're looking at that, then they should say to themselves, instead of having that no trade clause on the contract, we should have paid him $5 to $10 million more just to have that thing removed. And then you could have moved on with Dak Prescott by trading in your car, right? Instead of just cutting your car and just walking, you know. And the only other thing is, too, we don't have no tangible evidence of my guy, Trey Lance. It's a hope and a prayer. We don't know how he plays in big moments. We don't know how he looks like in a regular season game. We just don't know. It's not enough information out there for them to boldly say, hey, man, let's just go ahead and cut Dak, and we'll just eat that money, and we'll see, just old taste and see what Trey Lance can bring to the table. It's not enough evidence, baby. Unfortunately. All right, I got from the 757, you're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to me.
God, Lord, it's Banks, man.
What's good? What's good with you, bro? And salute to my dog, Sky, man. That's my dog right there, man. Yeah.
Yeah, my bad, man.
Yeah,
Hey, look, man, speaking of that, man, there's no way anybody listening to you guys, and the first thing you say when you get on the call is, release Dak Prescott. You know, come on, man. There's no way they watch y'all every day, or at least most of the time, and say that because they would know you can't just release Dak and it just everything just be all right. You know, we really be under the cap.
Yeah.
Over the cap. You know
here's the thing. Either, and I get what most people are feeling, right? Most people are feeling that the Cowboys have no hope. There's no possibilities of winning next year. and let's just go ahead and cut it and get it over with, right? That's what they are feeling. But that's emotionally speaking, right? That's emotions. The realism would be, all right, let's see what we can salvage right now. The contract is in a way because you can't really trade Dak Prescott for more and more resources because there's the no trade clause. Now you can put the environment around Dak Prescott to be such a way whereas he step back and say, well, you know what? I don't want to play for this team anymore. Let me go somewhere else. And that is what the Denver Broncos did. The environment was terrible. And Sierra husband spoke out against the ownership and et cetera, you know. And that would cause them to say, you know what, we'll just cut bait and we'll see what we can do down the line. But go ahead with your point, man. I don't want to take all your time away.
Yeah. Because the only way you can get rid of Dak is if he waives a no trade clause. But then you have to have somebody. You have to have a player there that wants Dak. You know, you don't want to go to him and ask him to waive and there's nobody there, and then that creates a whole nother, beef between the two. You know, hey, you want to trade me? You know, you find nobody. Then he's here playing for a year. But anyway, man, as far as man, you know, I don't. As far as me as a fan, you know, I'm fan win, lose, draw, whatever. You know what I mean? But I just think a lot of people, like you said, it just kind of, you know, get fed up. You know, just kind of fed up with the organization of players, the playoffs, especially going after 12-5, and the best thing I can tell people is just, you know, don't get your hopes up. Enjoy the games, because that's what I do. I'm going to do, enjoy the games.
Right.
You know, support them. You know, I mean, I love football, so
right.
It's hard. I can't not root for them. You know what I mean? It's just in me. It always been. So, you know, all you can do, hey, man, like I said, don't get your hopes up. Let's see what happens in the playoffs. But, you know, enjoy this regular season, see how it goes. You know what I mean? And just see what people are going to do. You know, that's the best advice I can give. You know, and I know it's hard.
Man, it's flat out hard, bro. You can look for it like this, man. You can expect for the worst, and then if anything happened for good, then you sit there and say and count it too. You know. Yeah.
Not fair weather, like, you know. Not fair weather. I'm not. You know, you got the casuals out here. You know, so to say, you know, to blame everything on the quarterback or the coach, whatever. But, you know, if you deep into it, you know, and know the players and know, you know football and you know certain stuff, you know, it's not all on just one person. It's a correlation of everything together, you know, and what it is. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just not Dak. It's just not the defense or, you know, one player. So, you know, we know what we need, man. We know what type of front office you got. If you've been a Cowboy fan, you've known it for years.
Right.
You know, since you've been one, if you know old enough to have been one in the early '90s, you know what I mean? So,
right.
See that? So you know what it is. So all I can say is just don't put your expectations up, root for them. You know, I know it's easier said than done, because it definitely is, but. Hey, man, we just got to keep fighting it. Like you said, not listening to these 3 or 4 letter networks. I don't watch ESPN no more, you know, like that, man. I might tune in here and there, but, you know, I'm tuning in to Law Nation. I'm tuning in to Skywalker Steel. I'm tuning in to, you know, Box Yard guys. You know what I mean? For, you know what I'm saying, year-round, you know, content. So, hey, man, just stay out them networks is the best thing.
Yeah, they going to poison it, man. You know. They gonna have your mind looking at it like, hey, you know, it's really doom and gloom here, right? It is really the worst. Yeah. Look, let me tell you about the Cowboys. It is the worst franchise on the planet, right? And they're gonna make it seem as if though, like during the off season, hey man, this is no chance, no hope. I had somebody to be mad at me saying that even that the Cowboys looking at his resume and looking at the wealth of the players that we have here, that I can still see that this is a 10 win or more team for the next season. Yeah. And they wrote a long paragraph about Law, you just a homer. But I said the same thing last year, and guess what? A similar person said the same thing. And the year before that, So at some point, man, you're gonna have to give me credit at some point of being consistent with my approach on evaluating the talent of this team. And we are a very talented team. That's not the issue there.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, but
that's all I got for the day, Law.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, bro. That's Banks, man, from the 757. So I get it, man. You know, money will make you attractive. Money will have you to draw in to some things that you don't even supposed to have. Money will make you attractive. It will have women fighting over you. It will have the likes of icons and everything and beyond. If you think I'm lying, look up Rick Ross. And I ain't saying that Rick Ross is an ugly dude, by the way, because looks could be subjective. There's somebody that probably look at Rick Ross and say that, hey, he's the best thing since sliced bread. Some can argue and say, hey, man, Law, you look just like Rick Ross. Y'all both got beards. But Rick Ross got superstars like models and stuff like that fighting over him. Why? Because he got money. And when you are the most valued franchise in the National Football League, you're going to have people fighting over your attention. You're going to have people fighting and trying to add into the mix and saying that, hey, they are doing X, Y, and Z things. But let me know if I'm wrong, you know. Yeah. Nick, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying, right? You know, the yin yang twins look good to a lot of women, right? Get low. Trick Daddy, yeah. The Kardashians, Action Power says, yeah. And I'm 11 years older than James Harden, so there need to be a battle cry that James Harden look like Law. Law don't look like James Harden. You know what I'm saying? So it need to be inversed and flipped, right? But neither here nor there. And you're right. I.B. Flows. Schultz is not wrong. Schultz is not wrong. He's not wrong. Just like when somebody mentioned that, hey, man, the Cowboys are the Kardashians. Kardashians are billionaires. And there are a lot of people who say, man, I ain't going to holler at Kim and them, you know what I'm saying? She ain't that attractive. But you walk into the room, all what they said goes out the window, and they say, hey, Kim, I was in the area, and you said you want to go out for a cup of coffee, and I was just going to see if you really about that. Mm-hmm. Y'all would flip it real quick, and I know y'all would, you know what I'm saying? But from the online preview, you say, nah, man, she ain't that attractive, man. I can't stand Kim Kardashian. And Kim said, I got a house party next week. We're going to have tours and everything. Hey, what time that house party? You invited me there? Y'all would flip. Oh, my goodness, y'all would flip. Ain't that right? From the 614, the biggest nuke, man. You're live on the nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix, man. Talk to me, man. Yeah.
What up? What up, Nuke?
What up, man? What's up with you, man? Talk to me, man.
Man, let me tell you something. We got to spend money in free agent, man, to help these young boys learn how to win.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree or not?
Oh, man, you got to, because the draft can only take you so far, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the free agency take you a little bit further, and trade acquisition will also solidify you a little bit further. The Cowboys front office only dance around in the draft, and they play around with their food in free agency. But keep going.
Yeah, and they making money regardless on advertising and brand and everything, and they got generations to feed. Yeah. So really, they I don't know, man. They ain't trying to do nothing. Because you can look at the history of the Cowboys, even in Starback. When we acquired Herb Allerley, one of the best defensive backs in the game, we won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Troy Aikman and them. They got Dion, they got Charles Haley, they got Ken Norton. They spent money.
Yeah, they did.
We not spending no money, though. And we ain't won nothing since.
Yep, and there was a situation whereas sometimes, you know, players think that there's greener grass on the other side, like Dwayne Thomas back in the days. You're like, man, I'm getting on out of here. went on to the New Englands and then realized that, hey, let me get back to the Cowboys. And you know what happened, the rest is history. But a lot of people don't see it from that aspect. A lot of people didn't see what Tex Stram was doing, even when he was here. The visibility and the exposure was here before Jerry Jones bought the team. He just magnified it even more. And I'm not saying that Jerry is not a problem somewhere down the line, but he is to a degree. But that shouldn't stop you. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
But what you gonna do? He's the head of the snake. What can you do? We don't have, and like I said, talent. We top heavy. We got talent. We top heavy.
Right.
But the rest of them guys, you remember we had a season where they called the Dirty Dozen when they had Emerson Walls, Michael Downs, and they had a whole bunch of good rookies and free agents, and we won.
Mm-hmm. We did.
We won, man. But that's all I had to say, man.
Man,
I'm just gonna keep on wishing and hoping.
You got to catch lightning in the bottle.
Look,
I mean, you got to. You got to.
He got to spend money, Lord.
You got
Everybody that spends, you got to. If you ain't trying to spend no money, you ain't finna win.
Right.
Look
right.
at the Rams. Look at everybody. They spent money, man. They spent money.
Right. Oh, you're right, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in. Let me hear you say it, man, on your way out, man, from the 614.
How about them boys, baby?
How about them, man? And salute to Prize Picks. Be sure to check us out on Prize Picks. Follow my entry. I will post the entries on the X app, and you guys just go to my Twitter page and you will see the entries, and you don't have to do any picks. You just follow mine, and if you followed mine yesterday, you'd have been a whole lot richer, than your money. And maybe, you can do it and scale it and get to about $10 to $15 billion, and maybe you can also purchase the Cowboys if they ever up for sales. But I just want to tell you guys, appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in, and be sure to download Prize Picks and use LAW code in for all of your entries, and you will find a great day on the other end. I got it all the way here from Ken from the 323. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. Talk to me, bro.
What's going on with you, Law?
Oh man, I can't complain, man.
Man, I've been listening to you preach all afternoon, man.
and I hope I'm passionate. I'm not mad. I'm just passionate the way I talk, so I don't want people to think that I'm mad at them for us having a disagreements about, culture and all of this stuff. Is it the best culture? No, it's not the best culture. But we are not, for sure, not the worst. But keep going. Go ahead.
But no, and that's why when I sent the super chat in earlier to you, is that when we keep throwing that word culture around, I don't think it's the culture. So that's why I said with Dalton Schultz, Dalton said was, to me, more of the mindset of the players that we keep bringing in.
Right.
We need a more tough mindset. The toughness, that's why when the guy said we need to spend money, that's what happened when we went out and got a Charles Haley.
Right.
Hey, we need to change the mindset in here. We need some toughness.
Right.
We got Charles.
Get it.
Charles came, walked in the door with it.
Yeah, the bravado. He walked in there saying, hey, man, I've been there. I know what this team needs. And even though he had a few screws loose, he knew how to walk in there, man, and hold these boys accountable. So when we talking about, like, the culture in general, Michael Parsons, he never been that dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not beating up Michael Parsons. Trayvon Diggs, he never been around that dude, And who am I to say that, But that's just the reality. Right now, the vocal leader of that particular team last year was Jaron Kearse, who can argue that never been that dude. So you may have to get somebody who got some irons in the fire, or who absolutely lifted up a trophy before, to be in that room that everybody can just lean on, man, and gravitate to. And that's just how it goes from there.
And I wish our fans would quit listening to. They say they don't listen to these networks, and I wish they would quit listening to these fake Cowboy fans like the Skip Baylesses of the world who keep wanting to throw Dak Prescott under the bus or Josh Allen who hasn't done nothing. I don't get that part, and why we keep trying to move on from Dak. Dak has been great. When are we going to realize football is a team sport?
It is.
It's a team. Well, we have 53 players for a reason. That's more than basketball, more than baseball. It's a team sport. It's more than that. And Dak needs help, just like every other quarterback needs help. Has Dak had his moments? No, but I dang sure don't blame that Green Bay game on Dak.
Right.
Bro.
Everybody have their hands on it, and the Green Bay Packers, they beat us so bad, bro. You know, and I get it. The trauma,
exactly.
Trauma bonding is a real thing, bro. Don't you know that most people get into relationships when someone just passed away and they at the funeral? You know what I'm saying? Don't you know that when somebody have the same exactly car wreck, that all of a sudden they were able to survive it, then they bond together and they stay with long-lasting relationships? So, yes, trauma bonding is a real thing. And the Cowboys are filled with trauma bonding fans, right? Because they're looking back at it and they're saying that we haven't been here since 1995 and 1996, and we are doomed, because that is what the 3-letter to 4-letter networks exhibited. They all talk about this, and everybody that listened to Stephen A. Smith's, he gets millions and millions of impressions and millions of views. They begin to identify with what he's saying and only think that the Cowboys are the only team that goes through these pitfalls. And that's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. They regurgitate what he says, and what Stephen A. Smith, I'm finna go on another rant, bro. And what Stephen A. Smith did is that people saw that that's a money-grabbing thing, and now there are miniature Stephen A. Smiths throughout the entirety of all of those platforms. They all got the Stephen A. Smith model. They do.
Yes, like I heard one of them admit, and I'm going to hang up after this. I heard one of them admit, well, the Cowboys didn't make the Super Bowl this year, but I sure hope to make it this year because it's going to be on our network. Isn't that something?
see, you know, and two things can be true, man. Appreciate you, Ken. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Lord.
That's a good call from Ken. And I'm not beating up y'all. I promise y'all, I love y'all to the moon and back. I do. And just like me and MJ, we get into it, and he's saying, hey, quit blaming the ownership, blame the players. I get it. I get his side of the argument too. I get his points. I do. But at the end of the day, this coaching staff got to find somewhere inside of them to make sure that they put the best player out there possible. They got to make sure that they hold these guys accountable. And on top of that, they can't have their mind thinking about going to another job. There's no way in life, man. I'm telling y'all, there's no way in life Dan Quinn said, you know what, let's beat the brakes off of Green Bay. He was already checked out, man. I'm telling y'all, and that sounds like excuses. I get it. But he was already checked out. My biggest thing is for this year, I'm quite sure we going to the playoffs. I have unbelievable faith that we going to the playoffs. And my biggest joy is that when we get to the playoffs, there should be none of these guys thinking about, hey, man, maybe I can go interview for this job. Maybe I can interview for that job. I hope that Zim is looking at Mike McCarthy and saying that, hey, Jones family may be all in from their knowledge and from their understanding of it, but me and you, man, we all in to win this doggone chip, man, to prove to the naysayers that we can get things going. I hope that there's their thoughts. That's all I can lean on. That's all I can tell y'all. And yeah, I know that a lot of people is unfavorable for most of y'all, right? Because it is easier to say that the Cowboys right now is not going to win the Super Bowl. It is easier to say that the Cowboys right now is going to be a 9-8 team or not even go to the playoff. It's easier to take that stance opposed to taking the stance that I had in these last 3 or 4 years. It's easier. It's easier to be mad at the sun and the moon. But here's my thoughts of it. If you don't like the cold and you fool around and move yourself to Alaska or certain parts of Canada, that's on you. That's on you. You don't need to be rooting for that particular area if you don't like the cold. It's equivalent to you going to Alaska and saying that I don't like the cold. It's too cold here. I wish I was somewhere else. Well, leave. Why put yourself into that environment? And that's the equivalent to most of y'all doing. I can't stand the Cowboys. Oh, man, I root for them, though. Oh, man, I'm here every week. But I can't stand the Cowboys. Well, move. There are 31 other flavors out there that's doing a better job than us, undoubtedly. That's just what it is. All right, and stop pandering to the low-hanging fruits. All right, I got my guy from the 754. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks, Dallas Cowboys. You here?
What's up? What's up, Law? This Dallas Cowboy 92, man.
Yeah, what's good with you, bro?
Hey, man, let me tell you. We got, Jimmy Johnson back for a reason. Everybody want to talk about the doom and gloom, but I ain't on that.
Right.
How long we been saying that we wanted to see Jimmy and Jerry, if it ever happened,
Yeah.
that they'll come back, they try to come back and unite. Well, guess what? They back. And I'm pretty sure Jimmy, after that embarrassing playoff loss, you see how the whole world saw how Jimmy Johnson, he reacted to that. So Jimmy got him back. He made amends or whatever. They went in their little prayer room and whatever they had against each other, that's over with. And now they're trying to get this thing back. I got faith in Mike McCarthy that he'll turn this thing around. Forget the three-letter word networks and all that, and let's just go to work, man. And like the other caller said, it's the mindset. If we get players with the mindset, but it fall back on Jerry and Jimmy, that we got to get the mindset for these players, because it ain't Jerry Jones out there throwing the ball and catching it. They're the same people that picked the players that won them championships back in the 90s. So they know what it takes with a heart of a champion. We just got to go out there and get the right players, and they got to do their job. And that's it. I'm done. And how about them Cowboys?
How about them, baby? Hey, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for jumping in. Yeah. and I get what my guy is saying as well. And those are things that we can all quantify and try to, and try to quantify. All right, yeah. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones. Yeah, they're not out there making the plays or what have you, and I get all of that. But they for damn sure picking the players. One thing I'm going to tell you guys that I'm going to be 1,000% with. I'm never going to be angry and upset at a comfortable home. I'll never be mad and angry because I know for sure for my two little ones, they can't complain about that daddy wasn't there for them when they needed me the most. They can't say that, hey, they grew up in a house without AC. They grew up in a house without lights, with water and all of that stuff. They grew up in a house with government assistance, with peanut butter, you know what I'm saying, and all of those shortcomings. They can't say that. They for damn sure can't say that. And one thing I'm going to sit back as a father of those two kids of mine is not allow them to grow up through life and say that what daddy never did. No. Don't lie on me. Daddy never had food on the table for me. No. They can't use that as an excuse. They can use some other stuff, but they for damn sure can't use that, man, my daddy was so big, man, he had people coming by and touring the house, tapping on the glass as we were studying, and that threw me. It's a few things that I can buy and there's a few things that I can't buy, and I'm not buying that. No, it's not an excuse. No. And I hold them accountable, especially on the things that I know for sure that they should be capable of achieving. That's just the reality of it. If we sat down and we went over this assignment and at the crib you was able to get this A on this test when I tested you, and you go to the classroom and you don't get that A, now it would be a different story. We went over it and all of a sudden you kept getting C's and B's, and I'm sitting there like, okay, cool. Boy, we gonna pray on her. But if I know that you are capable of achieving, I'm going to hold you accountable for those things. There's consequences and repercussions. But what we did as a society is that everything is an A. Oh, man, everybody got AC in their houses. Man, everybody got running water. Everybody got their grass cut low. Oh, man, everybody go to school on time. And everybody get picked up on time. Nope. And I know that that's on a micro level. But that's equivalent to what Dalton Schultz is saying. This brother is on a team, was on a team that had AC. They had unbelievable food that's being cooked and prepared for him. Oh my goodness, had unbelievable situations that people will fly them out to Oxnard to practice so that he wouldn't have to practice in the triple heats of the Texas. So you mean to tell me that those are issues and problems because we don't practice in the triple heats of Texas, right? And we go to Oxnard instead of practicing at Valley Ranch? Look. No, because those are excuses. Because very much so, the practice days will be limited if somebody think that they can practice at 110 degrees. We're not the only team that travel to different states and different locations during training camp. Y'all giving credence to a guy that block anyone, on Twitter. Even when Mike McCarthy was here and he got in trouble, not from Jerry Jones, but from the league when they said that he was practicing these boys too hard. See, y'all don't hear the full story. Mike McCarthy was practicing these boys too hard. They said, hey, man, you're going to have to temper that down and settle that down. So which one is really the problem? I think it's the NFL with the culture issue. All right, I got the next caller on the line from the 214. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to me.
My man Law.
What's good with you, man? Talk to me, bro.
My man Law, it's the Dak attack.
Oh, my goodness. What's good, bro? Break it down.
What is going on, Law Nation? Oh, man, you got something in my spirit percolating this fine afternoon.
Yeah.
And I got to say, at what point we've talked about the 4 and 3 letter networks. We've talked about Jerry. We've talked about the players. We've talked about the fans.
Right.
At what point do we take a step back and ask ourselves, as new media, when do we take control? When do we stop contributing to the mass hysteria of Cowboys Nation? When do we stop making small issues anthills into mountains?
Ooh,
when do
break
we stop
it down, man. When do we stop it?
When do we stop it?
Break down this Dak attack because break this down, Dak attack. No, you good. But I know that you think from the same level that I'm thinking. Break down the two things can be true argument to the people, and break it down. I'm listening.
Come on, man.
Break it down.
At what point do we as new media, we sit here and criticize how the media has covered our team and how they have contributed to the circus around the team?
Right.
Which is true, right? Yeah. Two things can be true.
Right.
But at what point do we as new media take a step back and go, okay, how am I contributing to the circus? Am I leading my audience astray? Am I trying to take the low-hanging fruit, as you mentioned?
Yeah.
Am I trying to take that low-hanging fruit, that lazy approach, the lazy take, the easy take that I see a bunch of people mad, let me be mad too. At what point do you take a step back and go, hey, hold on, Cowboys Nation. We all care about our team.
Right.
We all want our team to be successful. So if we really want to be that and we really want to build a platform based off of that, when do we start talking just facts? When do we stop allowing all these conspiracy theories and stuff that we can't prove, bro?
Right.
Stuff we can't prove. Stuff that's not based on empirical data.
Yeah. Just the anecdotal.
We stop allowing that stuff to dictate how we feel. So that's my question. And I mean, I love all y'all guys, bro. Like, all y'all do an amazing job. Me and you, we agree on some things. Sometimes we don't.
We don't.
But that's fine, bro. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
But
and that's the reality of it too, though. You know, because at the end of the day, what we want is this team to ultimately win. But man, let's be real, man. Them damn tours don't have nothing to do with winning. Come on, man. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
No, let me ask you something, bro. Let me ask you something. How do you think we as a country would look at our military if they sat there and looked at us and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't understand how to approach that battle. We lost that battle. We didn't fulfill our duties because civilians are allowed to visit the base. Civilians are allowed to drive on the base while we drill.
Yeah.
While we at the shooting range. Oh, I'm sorry. We sit here and look at fast food workers, the people that make the least amount of money in the country.
Yeah.
And they have to be looked at like zoo animals while they doing their job, while they're training, while they're preparing. Bro, every job in America, bro, there are things you have to deal with that may not be the most comfortable thing.
Yeah.
Every job in America has corporate doing stuff that's probably not for the best interest of operations.
True.
It happens. I'm not about to sit here and let Dalton Schultz talk about, a kid tapping on the glass while I'm getting in my reps. That's why I didn't fight forward for some yardage instead of allowing myself to get knocked backwards in the divisional game against the 49ers.
Come on, man.
That's why that happened.
Come on. And there's a difference between you at a fast food restaurant at Chick-fil-A and just name another one. You know, just name another one that's not on the tier of Chick-fil-A.
Popeyes.
Popeyes. So there's a difference, man. So at Chick-fil-A, you're gonna have clean aisles. You're gonna have people with unbelievable customer service. You're gonna have, hey, did you get your Polynesian sauce and all of that? But at Popeyes, you're not.
My pleasure.
My pleasure. You know, hey. Hey, all the shows down there at Popeyes and all they focusing on is the chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna give you the chicken.
They don't care about customer service. They don't care about none of that. But guess what? Chick-fil-A making the most bread, just like the Cowboys.
Oh my gosh!
And guess what? Chick-fil-A. Hey, check this out. Chick-fil-A demands more from their employees than Popeyes does. And they get better benefits. Same way the Cowboys players do with smaller franchises.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, people say they want Popeyes now. No, they tired of it.
Damn! They say that until they get cussed out when they ask for some extra sauce.
Yeah. Extra sauces, man. But man, you know, I get it. I absolutely get it, man. You know, just give me a 2-piece and the biscuit. I don't care about the services and everything. I just want the biscuits, right? And that is what the Kansas City Chiefs. You seen what they were ranked at, but winning cures it all.
31st.
31st. Oh, it's 31st now. Okay, because I guess I pulled
my. It was like second to last in the league on that report card.
Yeah. Okay, I pulled the data from 2023. So 2022, 2023 season. So now they got even worse and they got back-to-back Super Bowls. Ain't that something?
Come on, man.
Come on.
That's all I have to add, bro. It's just food for thought, man. At some point, and that's what I base my platform off of, bro. I have a responsibility to people that views my content to try to come to them and inform them, bro. I don't want to have the people watching my content with jacked up moods and attitudes all day because I done worked them up into a tizzy about nothing, bro.
Man, it's good to know, man, that you in the area, bro. And my guy Ray been trying to contact you. Well, he's gonna contact you on some things, man, we can formulate together, bro. And maybe a once a week segment, man. And I'll get with you on that, bro. Hey, continue to do your job, man, because you ain't doing a good job, bro. I'm gonna let you know right now in your face, man, you ain't doing a good job at all, bro. Oh my goodness, you ain't doing a good job. You doing a great job, man. Oh my goodness, you putting up the fight, man. You putting up the fight, man, because I already know. My guy Mark Holmes put up a fight for Dak. I thought that I would never in my life find anyone that can defend Dak Prescott better than Mark Holmes. But, bro, You defend Dak Prescott. You Dak defender, man. You would defend Dak Prescott, and then you will bring, hey, I got the data though. You ain't bullshit. You bring your you bring the receipts and everything, and the checks and balances, man. So continue to do your job, man. You doing a great job, not a good job, and keep it up, bro. The community needs you.
All right, salute to you, Law. Appreciate you, man.
That's a good call from my guy.
Great content, bro.
Yes, indeed. Let me get him another one up.
Damn!
Yeah.
Damn!
Put y'all hand together for Dak Attack, man. Yeah, man. Oh, my goodness, man. I didn't even know, man. He'd jump on, man. This dude, every year, you know, there's a new person that jumps onto the scene and just blow up crazy numbers, man. I remember my guy Landlord just jumped out of the scene. Yay, what happened? And, you know, and just killed everything. I remember Rome, man. He jumped in and blew up the scene. I'm old enough to remember Skywalker. I never thought that it would be another person to blow it up like Skywalker and Okoye. Shoo. But a Dak Attack, he just jumping off the top ropes with everything, with machetes, machine guns, and everything, man. And he ain't doing, like, a good job. He's not. He's doing a great job, man. So, and it's entertaining. It's not, you know, something where you go in and you sitting there like, hey, that's opinionated. It may be opinionated, but he give you facts, and will debate you. Even like I said, Boss Cowboy Sports. Oh yeah, man. The list is longer than Shaq feet for those who come out of the scene. JC Cowboy Network. My guy Jay Tuck, man. The list goes on. My Cowboys family, a whole family, bro. A whole family get together and do some stuff. West Coast Cowboy. You know, me and him started around the same time. You know, but West Coast, he does a great job, man. And yeah, it's crazy, y'all, on how good we are. Vach, man, me and my guy Vach, man. Vach is phenomenal, man. In a sense, man, I think Vach is one of the greatest out here. And here's how I always feel honored, because Vach was really, really draft guy. He was really all sports guy. Like, he covered the Browns, covered the Bengals, covered the Texans and everything. And then I was talking to him. I said, damn, dude, you from Natchez? I'm from Natchez. And he was like, yeah, I'm from Natchez, man. I said, ain't no way you from Natchez. And we're about 10 or 11 years away from each other, so I never seen him growing up. And lo and behold, this dude, a Cowboy fan. I said, dog, you need to start talking this Cowboy stuff, man. But by him talking Cowboys, man, I think that at the end of the day, by us having difference of opinions, but we still come together like Foots and all of us, man, the list goes on, bro. By us coming together and talking, we have, at the end of the day, y'all, bump all what you're saying with the tours and how the players feel and the owners, but we as fans, we family, baby. Ain't nobody's better than the Cowboys community on this content creation side. And we have even guys that even generated from the media over to the content creation, like Mike Fisher's of the world, right? Tom Downey, I think that he don't do a good job. He do a great job, man. The list goes on, man. Shango, man. Look, man. Look, y'all got me down this pathway of just yelling out at everybody, man. But we ourselves, we fed up, and not all of us disagree, and not all of us agree, but that's okay. That's why we keep the motion going, baby. Shoot. Well, who else I left out, baby?
Damn.
But every year there's a new person, man. You know, DMV, you know, all of those boys, man. We deep up in here, and we tired, we fed up. But two things can be true. I got my guy MJ from the 206. You're live in the mix, man. Talk to me. You're live.
What up, Law? How you
What's
doing,
good?
brother?
Hey, man, all is well, bro. I can't complain.
You see that snitch, Dalton Schultz?
Low key, he snitched a little bit last year, but now he's really talking. Now he really talking.
He got that. They paid him.
Right.
I told y'all he was a bum. There's a lot of players, and that's what's happening.
Right.
I'm telling you, and it's bad for other players because they're not Stephen Jones. I'm telling y'all, man. If y'all don't think that man don't be, man, I'm telling y'all, he's getting booed. everybody hate him, and then them players talking smack like that, man. That's why he don't want to play a lot of players, man. I'm telling you.
My thing is, and my guy Pat No C Walker, he got a statement on his Twitter page. And I don't feel like just going back and forth with a lot of people. But Dalton Schultz, oh man, this place is great, man. I love it here. I love to be here more. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness, I want to be here. Now he gone. Oh man, this place was terrible. I guarantee you, if the Atlanta Falcons or the Carolina Panthers would have picked him up, he probably said, you know what, Cowboys was nice, Texans was pretty good stay. But, man, this new facility over here in Atlanta, man, oh, man, it's nice, man. The stadium is nice, it's big, it's round, like a donut. He'd have been talking about a whole bunch of other things, man.
Yeah, that's what they do. I'm like, come on, man. You came over here, can't block, dropping crucial passes when we need you to catch.
Right.
Come on, man. You guys are something else, man.
Hey, man.
That's what they do. Everybody do the Cowboys like that. I'm going to tell y'all, man, you're a Cowboy fan or not, I hate losing too.
Right.
I've been here longer than most of a lot of y'all, in the 80s.
I know you
been. 4 championships, back to back.
Yeah.
And we lost it.
Yeah.
90, we finally won. But then 96, that's when we start getting our butt beat. Even our best quarterback, he started throwing 3 interceptions in playoffs. Troy Aikman. The concussions got to him.
Yeah.
And our defense, in some games, our defense kept our offense in the game. And our offense just can't do, for some reason.
Right.
Our offense can't do a Brady. It can't do what the brother from Kansas City do. The defense will keep them in the game, keep you in the game, and we still can't get over the hump with a quarterback. Or the quarterback be playing good, in the running game, and the defense to get ran all over and passed all over.
Right.
And
here's what I want to say, man. And you fight me back and forward with this, and that's okay. That's cool. I get it. I don't want people to think that we're placating to the players or what have you, or the owners or whatever it may be. I truly believe Jerry Jones, the owner, is a real good owner. Jerry Jones, the GM, and Stephen Jones, the financial arm, they are not really great at those spots. And the number one problem, is not about the tours, not about the other ancillary pieces. But to me, the number one problem is the financial pieces of the Cowboys on how they draw up contracts and how they swabble with the free agency. That's the only issue that I see. Far as having a band and having concerts and stuff like that, I know that people can quantify and add that to it, but my number one issues are those 2 areas. If they improve on that, everything else will work out well for us.
Yeah, and what you saying about that, what you trying to tell everybody, you should sign a bad knee guy to all that money.
Right.
You should be signing them players. You got to let them go, man.
Right.
I know you're trying to be loyalty, and that's good that they got rich. If y'all haven't seen it, the people that be cool with them, they pay them all the money, and the people that not cool with them, they let them go.
Yeah.
You got to stop doing that, man. You costing your team, and you get in your feelings because you're mad because they don't want to, they ain't what you want, but they winners, and then you keep the people that's not winners because they do what you want. That's a losing formula, man. You can't do that, man. Yeah. And then you better not sign up Beyonce's back. Beyonce can't block work for nothing, man. In the middle.
Yeah. I mean, they are in communications with him, and I'm gonna tap in because I know someone we're really, really close with it, and I'll let y'all know in the next following weeks, man, what they gonna do with Beyonce. I mean, the next following days, I meant to say, because you got until a few more days here, bro.
Because they got a lot of centers they could draft, and it seems like they might draft a left tackle. They're talking about him, but I don't know the guy from Georgia, because they say he might fall to 24.
Right.
What you think? You like seeing him?
Yeah, here's I haven't seen all of his tape, though. And I would say this, though, if that's somebody that they can look at and want, as long as the BPA. if we do get them, just don't have these doggone tours.
Yeah, if you get them,
you get them. Don't have tours, man. Yeah.
You gotta play them. Let them get beat up in preseason. He'll be playing. I'll keep him all day. Just let his butt get beat. Then he gotta go to Duke. But he's big and strong. You just got and he's athletic. You gotta play him right now. In preseason, all the way up to regular season. You see what I'm saying? Or the center. If you get the center, then you got to play. That's what I was telling you last year. Richardson wasn't bad. You should have been playing that boy instead of 71, man. Come on, man.
Hey, man, you right, bro.
We got to stop doing this, man. Stop favoritism. Now, defense, I ain't worried about. Ain't gonna be no favoritism on defense. That's over with. So it's like y'all put up there still. Show me all them D tackles that's out there. Some of them you can get for $2 million, $3 million, and they dogs.
Right.
You better get that middle fix. If you don't get that middle fix, we gonna play that thing again. We gonna be crying. Play your cry.
Oh
again,
man, I got you right here, bro. And hey man, I appreciate you so much for calling in, MJ. Man, you have a good day, bro. Salute, man.
Good show, man, and salute to the nation.
Salute. Yeah, man, you know. Oh, my gosh, man. Everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. And here's what I want. I don't want even our local beat writers to even pander to what even Dalton Schultz said. But I do know that whenever they have a presser, they're going to ask the player, and the player's going to say, no, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. If anything, this should be a benefit to the Cowboys. If anything, this should be a benefit to the Cowboys. We should be used to the attention. Right? Michael Jackson, his entirety of his life was used to the attention. When he was young, he was Jackson 5. Black is out of the nights that cover me. Black as a pit from pole to pole. All the way until he was as white as a clean sheet of paper. Michael Jackson had all of the attention. But when it was time for him to perform on any stage, man, Thriller, baby, you better watch out, man. Do perform. That's with all of the attentions. With everybody with cameras and beyond in front of him. And these players got to adapt the MJ philosophy if that's the case. And that's the situation. You know, y'all know I'm telling the truth. Yeah. You better be ready because it's not going to go away. It's not. It's not going to go away, man. Matter of fact, it's going to be even more and more attention. Even when the Jones family gone. It's gonna be more and more attention. It's gonna be you're gonna do the tour, and at the end of the tour, you see a Jerry Jones with a fire torch holding in his hand, you know, with 3 rings or 4 rings, whatever it may be. You know, Jerry Jones gonna have a statue at the end of the tour. They are already making Jerry Jones an AI Jerry Jones. So he ain't going nowhere. They're going to transfer his mindset and his metadata over to the doggone. And that's why he said, I'm going to be here for a long time. At the end of the tour, you're going to have Jerry Jones there. AI version, you know. And matter of fact, 20 years from now, maybe, just maybe, you're going to have Jerry Jones, the hologram Jones, giving you the tour. You know, y'all know I'm telling the truth.
Get your damn act together.
Oh, Jerry, I'll get my act together, you know. And Jerry Jones at the end of the tour, he gonna ask you this, you know.
I want me some glory hole.
Yeah. Hitting rooms, and you go down that room, you go down them stairs, and you can see Tom Landry at the bottom if you pay for the premium prices. Y'all think it's going to happen? Yes, it's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, man, I paid for the premium price, man. I get to get a tour with Jerry Jones, and they got Tom Landry at the end. Did you pay for the premium package? Yeah, man. It's $5,000, man, for that premium package, man. Yeah. You get a tour with Jerry Jones hologram. And, yeah, Jones Jr. is also holding his hand. You know, it's going to be just that, the escape room. And the Texans still going to have 0 rings, and they're going to talk about how good their culture is. Yes, the Texans going to have 0 rings, and they still going to say, hey, our culture is better, though. From the 469, what's on your mind? You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix, man. Talk to me.
What's up, Law? This is Star.
Star, what's good? You changed the number, didn't you? What's going on?
Yeah, I changed my number. A while ago. I was like, damn, I ain't called into Law Show in a minute, but something compelled me and told me to call in today, so I'm calling in.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me. What's on your heart? Hey, one day at a time, one movement at a time. That's all I can say.
Exactly. Yeah, but this is what I wanted to say, because I mean it's been on my heart, and also like listening to you talk today about Schultz, which I'm totally on board with how you feel about Schultz. As I said on my show yesterday, it's not about the messaging,
right?
But it's also about like who is coming from. Like Schultz, the children watching you at the training facility had nothing to do with why you couldn't keep your feet in bounds in the 2022 playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like that didn't have anything to do with that. So it's just shut up and stop it.
Yeah.
And honestly, none of the former players have said anything about the attraction of the Dallas Cowboys as far as what the fans are able to do and how they're able to come see the facilities. It's all really been about the front office, how they meddle in situations, how they treat you in contract years, those types of issues that are the reasons why we have issues with the Dallas Cowboys front office. Also, how they team build. We try to develop players. We develop them, but then we let them go. Somebody like Connor McGovern, we don't try to flip the players. We just let them go into free agency. We get nothing back for them. So it's like those are the issues that I believe that is part of the culture issue with the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
Anyway, I wanted to say this because I would like to ask the Cowboys Nation, like, I'm compelling us to make a choice here. And I've gotten this based off of, what you said today. Like, it's come to a point where we as new media, we have a responsibility now.
Right.
Where, like, in Law, I got your hat, Law, with new media. I wore it yesterday because I'm very proud to be part of new media.
Appreciate you.
But can you explain to the people what is the new media? What is it?
There's no boundaries. In old media, there's boundaries. There's gatekeepers that you got, even if you have information, you don't supposed to say it, right? You're supposed to bow down.
Right.
You want to go to the media parties. You know what I'm saying? Like Jerry Jones will release something and say, hey, this is for you guys, only. So you see, and then it's up to us to call out the bull, and not live into the bull sugar that most people think that we supposed to. Collectively, everybody's supposed to be mad at the Cowboys. There should be nobody agreeing with me on this topic, right? Collectively, everybody should say, hey, the culture is bad here because this is what the 3-letter to 4-letter networks is saying. And Dalton Schultz, oh my goodness, man, he's a Hall of Famer. And everybody should be listening to what he's saying based off of his personal experience, right? And yes, and not just him, then they supposed to go down the list of all of the players. So what new media does is that, hey, I get all of that, but let me show you, here's the Kansas City Chiefs. They have their people crying and moaning about the conditions at their facility, right? So it's not just the Cowboys, whether it's good or bad, and that's what we supposed to bring. And then you have your branches of those who will find an argument and compel against it, just like what my guy Dak Attack does for his content and page. I love it, right? Because he point out, okay, Dak Prescott lost the game, but here are 15 other quarterbacks that lost the game too, right? Here are some other players that had issues, and these are the facts right here. And that is what old media don't present. They only talk about what's sensationalizing, sensationalism.
Exactly.
They only speak on those things that can get them the ratings and the views or what have you. Whereas I can do a live feed for about 2-3 hours. How many times we cut to commercial break? None.
None.
Straight talk.
Exactly, Law.
Right.
I agree with that 100%. Like, that's the point of the new media. We're supposed to be the voice of the real, not the narrative, but the voice of what's actually going on.
Right.
And I thought it to myself, like, in the Bible how it says, like, the ministers and stuff of the church, like, you're supposed to live, pastors specifically, you're supposed to live above reproach.
Right.
And I think that with new media, we have to adopt the same, because we may not have asked for this responsibility, but we do have a responsibility to Cowboys Nation to bring the truth, right?
Right.
And so that's what we've adopted. And we decided to name ourselves New Media. We decided to take everybody who's an independent and say, okay, we are New Media. We put that label on ourselves, which means we're a group. We're a Reformation group, basically.
Right.
And so I want to make, compel Cowboys Nation, Dallas Cowboys content creators to organize or resign. And so when I say organize or resign, this is what I'm talking about. At some point, we know the Cowboys Nation, we know what we want, right? We know we want to win a Super Bowl.
True.
That's the bottom line. Everybody, even the Dak haters, everybody just wants to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But the issue is we don't know how to, because there's so many competing voices on what's the issue, what's not the issue, what's the issue. And so you see the people like the old media and the Joneses, it's like now I can see it clearly in the offseason, like they use us to fuel their pockets, because they know any article that they put out, any statement that Jerry says, even statements that Steven says, we're going to go ballistic about it on Twitter. We're going to click on their articles 100 times. We're going to dissect those articles. We're going to do all of this stuff, which is like, it's creating the chaos, and it's like, that's exactly what they want. Like, Green Bay was the best thing to happen to the media.
Right.
And the Joneses even, right? Because now I can use this and I can fuel the anger into Cowboys Nation, and I can say trigger words to them. It's like we're all triggered. Just like you said, trauma bonded. We're all triggered now.
Yep.
So it's like anytime somebody puts it out, even from reputable sources, like the James Slayers and the Michael Gelsons of the world, but anytime they put something out, it's like it's sending us into a frenzy. And so what I'm saying is, back in the day, civil rights movement, there was an issue.
Right.
There was a common goal that we were trying to get to. But what happened? What do we have to do to get to that goal? We had to organize.
Right.
At some point, we can't just sit and keep talking about the Joneses suck. And I've done it myself. So nobody feels attacked. I've done it myself.
Right.
I do it myself sometimes. Where we just get on Twitter or we get on all our platforms or our social media platforms and we complain and we say, this is an issue, this is the issue, this is the issue.
Right.
But it's like, okay, but what are we gonna do to make the front office hear what we're saying and hold them accountable? And it's like, if we're not gonna do that and we say like we don't have time for that and like, we're pissed off, but we're still gonna do this and we're still gonna operate how we've been acting, then at this point it's like, you should, as you said, we should resign, because at this point it's like just choose to be a fan of another organization,
another organization
that you can be happy with.
You're right on it, because at the end of the day, JFK, he said this, man, they gunned him down, but he said, ask not what this country can do for you, but what you can do for this country. And at the end of the day, I get it, right? We angry, we upset, the Cowboys organization and franchise. Oh, man, hey, now somebody talking about the tours. Somebody talking about the food is too good. Somebody talking about the AC is too cold, and at the end of the day, the coaching is bad. The front office is bad. The players are bad. Everything is bad. Then one and the fans are bad, right? Everybody bad. So I guess at the end of the day, for what I'm going to say here is that, hey, there's the front door. You can leave. Let us be bad with the bad people right here, and you go root for another team and see how great it is. Come on, Dalton Schultz. Exactly. They need to be Dalton Schultz crews of people saying, you know what, Dalton Schultz is right. Let's go and follow Dalton Schultz approach, because at the end of the day, it's too much. It's too much good stuff that's going on, man. And if Cowboys is saying that, and the fan base is saying that it's toxic and these sorts of things, Randy Gregory said it was toxic, right? So he had a point. So, yeah, there are some troubled issues within the confines of the Cowboys. But we just seen a team lift up the Lombardi Trophy twice, and they have even more of a toxic environment, and the name is the Kansas City Chiefs. I can't make this stuff up.
We can't make this stuff. We can't make this stuff up. And I just want to say this last thing.
Go ahead.
Like, you are right. We should be used to the attention. And I had made a post about this in season.
Right.
That we are the king's children. And when I say that, the king's children are separate from everybody else's children. You can say the children of the peasants or whatever. And I'm saying this because we are the biggest sports franchise in the world. Period. Like, this is how it is. So the Dallas Cowboys, like, we are what we are because we earned what we are. Like, we earned it. We cannot help that we have 5 Super Bowls. We can't help that. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is we did earn that.
Right.
Reality is we've had multiple Hall of Famers, and we still have multiple Hall of Famers till this day.
Right.
So that's what we are. That's why we're America's team. People talk about, can the Patriots or the Chiefs be the new America's team? No, because we earned what we are. And instead of continuously, like, it's like being upset. You cannot be upset about what you are. You can't be upset because of your legacy.
Right.
And you have to ask yourself as a fan, why does the media and these other fan bases keep trying to make us forget our legacy?
Right.
You want to know why? Because they don't have the legacy.
Ooh.
They don't have the legacy. We haven't been to the Super Bowl since 1995, but y'all can't beat us. We want to be like Philly. They have one Super Bowl. They can't beat us. That's why they want us to forget our legacy. Forget it. It's old. It doesn't matter, because if it was that easy, then tons of teams would have already passed us. It's not easy to win a Super Bowl. We won 5. So it's time for us to stop being ashamed of that. We cannot be ashamed of that. Like, there's stuff we haven't done. We want to get back to the Super Bowl, but the reality is it's very hard, because if it was easy, then all of these organizations that have been to the AFC and the NFC championship, they would have surpassed us by now, right?
I mean, and I get both sides of the argument, Star, and you're right. You 1,000,000% right on that. Hey, and let people know where they can find and follow all of your great content too.
Yeah, y'all can follow me on Stargazer Sports. That's my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Twitter at The Stargazer, but instead of a E in Gazer, it's a 3, it's 2 R's at the end. Y'all can find me on Facebook, Stargazer Sports Media. You can find me on Instagram at Stargazer_sports, and find me on TikTok at Stargazer.sports. So
no doubt.
I appreciate you all. Thank you for having me on. I'll continue to listen in the chat.
Yes, indeed. And she's a star, and no matter how you try to cover it up, the star will always shine, right? I like how my guy West Coast Cowboys says, never look down because the star is up, and that is a true profound statement. The stars are up. You never look down. And shout out to Stargazer, man. I got to say this too. Our ladies community in the Cowboys world, woo, we got some strong ones, man, and she's one of them. Craven Cowboys, Candy, appreciate her, for all what she does. My girl Ashley, all of them, Ashley Baker and Ashley Moss, man, all of them. And if I left out any ladies, man, BLS, she don't do a good job. She do a great job as well, man. Our ladies community in the Cowboy space is second to none as well. So, and here's the thing, and I love what my guy said, Jay Lombardi. He said, stop living off of the past accomplishments. And he's right, man, because regardless of the situation, when you are royal and when you have the abilities to have the appearance that everybody gravitate to, no matter what you do, people are still going to recognize the greatness in you. And unfortunately, we may be angry and upset, but there will always be somebody to say, hey, man, oh, my goodness, man, I remember, man, watching Roger Staubach. Oh, man, I remember watching Bullet Bob, And then there will be people, oh, my goodness, I even like Danny White, man. Oh, my goodness, I remember watching the people that I grew up loving and watching. Even though he didn't lift up a Lombardi trophy, there will be always somebody saying, look at Troy, man, in the 90s. Emmett. Those things would not go away to pass. And even if the youth try to run from it, they will be reminded of it because the legacy is so strong in Dallas. It's not like that for the Cincinnati. Joe Burrow's the best quarterback in Cincinnati land. Was it Boomer Esiason? Nobody's really banging on the table saying, oh, man, Boomer, when he was there, woo! Man, things were great, man. Oh, my goodness, man. Carson Palmer, oh, my goodness. Andy Dalton. I remember, oh, man, all of the legacy. No, Joe Burrows goes there and will forever be one of the greatest quarterbacks there. Or Kenny Anderson. Kenny A, oh, my gosh, man, look, Or for the Jaguars, man. Oh, man, Byron Leftwich, man. Oh, he was killing it, wasn't he, Cole? Burline, man. Oh, my goodness. Mark Brunell, I believe, back in the days. So, Law can go there and do great numbers there, man. Come on, man. Icky Woods back in the day. Yeah, y'all telling y'all age now, man. The Icky Shuffle and everything. But and Joe Mixon just got released. Hey. But I'm just saying, though, but when you start talking about the legacies and beyond, that lady that was 76 years old, and I'm going to play a clip of it, when we all said and done with everything here today. She just wanted to see her team, man. I mean, she was just proud to walk in a stadium with relics and everything else that the Cowboys had there at that stadium. To touch the same helmet that a player that she grew up probably admiring and want to be with, Roger Staubach. You right? When y'all go to the Star in Frisco, you see all of those statues of the Hall of Fame row. Man, that's just what it is. Other organizations may have some similar things like the Steelers. And the Steelers, I'm still mad at the Steelers, by the way, for having one more ring than us. But quietly, the Steelers haven't been doing anything. And they have a better coach than us, allegedly. Their organization got one more ring than us. But what have the Steelers been doing in the last 4 or 5 years or 7 years, etc.? Nothing. All right, let's go to the next caller. But before we go, let's pay some bills over here. You know what I'm saying? Prize Picks, by the way. Be sure to check out Prize Picks. Download Prize Picks. It is an unbelievable website where you can have the ultimate fun here and use promo code LAW with your picks. We were able to capitalize off of Prize Picks just the other day. I shared my my entry here, and we were able to put $500 to get $2,500 back. They had a free pick entry, and you can pick 6 of them and don't have to put nothing down. And we were able to come off with $4, $4. And I went with Giannis, and I went with Steph Curry, Fox, as well as my my guy James Harden. You know, they say he looked like Law Nation. You know, maybe I'm gonna have to ask Pops, man, what's going on with that, man? I know you was a Rolling Stone, but you know what's going on with that? And we came out and we were victorious with that. And we will share our picks, win, lose, or draw, on my Twitter page. So be sure to check out Prize Picks. Use promo code LAW. 100% deposit match up your first $100 deposited. Man, appreciate Prize Picks, and I appreciate you guys so much for taking good care of Law Nation Sports. The next caller I have in the mix is Coach AJ. You're live from the 316. You're in the mix. Talk to me.
What up, Mr. Law Nation?
Nothing much.
You are the greatest, man.
Oh, man, I appreciate you, man.
We got to, hate is hate, man. That's one thing I will always love about being a Cowboy fan and being able to come back home. Kansas City didn't win anything for 50 years, and nobody ever told them one time, don't believe at the beginning of the year your team can't win.
Uh-huh.
That's the problem with us in Dallas, because, see, we know we believe in our heart because we've been there.
Right.
Been there 8 times, and, I ain't going to say no name. Randy Gregory parents, I bumped into them the other day. They love Dallas still, but they hate Dallas now.
Right.
We love it, but we hate it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a love-hate thing. If your son's on the team, you love him. If it's not on the team, well, hell, my heart's in 49er country now. That's
right.
But truthfully, if he get cut tomorrow and end up in Washington, they're gonna be in Commanders country.
Right.
So no matter where you are, you always root for your team. It's kind of like you're rooting against your own family member.
Right.
Not too many people do that. So what I'm gonna say is, hey, it's always talk in Dallas because we are the best thing out there. We're not the shiny apple. We're not the shiny little stone.
Mm-hmm.
We're built well.
Right.
We've been around since the 60s, and we keep building.
Right.
Hey, and that's why I laugh at people to say, I'd rather go back and be, if you listen to my boy Skip Bailiff the other day talking about, well, I'd rather go back and be whatever. Nah, I don't want to see a 1-15 again.
Right.
Well, now it'd be 1-16. Hell, I don't want that. Who wants to be with that losing situation?
Man, you're right, Coach. It's rough on us, man. It's rough on us because we act every year like, I get it, 12-5 without lifting up a Lombardi Trophy is terrible from what I overall want, right? What I want is for us to win the Super Bowl every year. What we get is either one playoff game or one and done in the last 3 years, and that's not enough for us, right? But we were not 5-12. But we wasn't 5-12.
We got 2 1 year, and then people still want more. Hey, one thing I will say, I do love me some Dak, but Dak did make the GOAT of GOATs go sit down, and he never came back.
Right.
So I'll take that. Now, if we end up letting him go and we don't get nothing out of him, that's just normal Cowboy behavior. And he would be the first quarterback in our franchise to leave here as a starter and go somewhere else. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be either the first, or we're going to re-sign this guy and get his payments, get it down, get a 5-year plan like you say, and do what we got to do. But most of all, hey, man, there's only one star out there. The rest of these teams, they're imitating us. Yes, Pittsburgh got more than we do. I don't care. They still are not the Cowboys.
Right.
Black and yellow is not near as beautiful as that silver and blue, bro.
It's not.
I mean, the bottom line is we hate on our own team. We're the hardest on our team. Like you asked, I don't want to say his name, but the one hater that I just
make your skin crawl.
Me up the wall.
Yeah.
He, Brandon is that guy. I'll still love you, but Brandon, guess what? If we win one, where you gonna go?
We're gonna go. Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Crawl up under a rock? No, man. We're gonna lose. We're gonna win. I like life too much, and the Cowboys give you life. These other teams, when the season's over with, they don't talk about them.
Yeah.
How many times have we talked about Baker Mayfield re-signing?
Right.
It's very little. They don't even mention golf as soon as the season's over with.
Right. Ooh, he's
Nothing.
chilling. He chilling, licking his wounds. Nobody's talking about the turmoil of the Niners and what's going on. And I get it, you know. I get it. I understand.
So do the Niners fire their coach for getting there twice and losing, really getting there 3 times and losing all 3 with points ahead on the board?
Points ahead, yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I mean, so I hadn't heard anybody say fire the man yet.
And the Niners are a well-run team, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know,
yeah.
Hey, they went through the phase where they didn't even make the playoffs. Remember that? Nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
They had Garcia. They were barely winning. They struggled. They went through all these quarterbacks, too. Sometimes you get a blessing, sometimes you don't. I guess we want to go back to Andy Dalton, the Cowboy coach who coached our quarterback, who played here. I mean, I'm talking about the one from Seattle. Oh, God, I slipped my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, we had so many quarterbacks.
John Kitna and all of those boys, yeah.
Yeah, John Kitna was the one I'm thinking of. Dude, we had quarterbacks on top of quarterbacks, and we couldn't win. I don't want that. I just want a tough defense. Don't give up no points, because when the Baltimore Ravens won their Super Bowl, they didn't score no points. They were just getting by.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll take getting by, but I don't want to hear no complaining.
Yeah. Man, Coach, man, I appreciate you so much for calling in. And great points there, too, by the way, Coach. Appreciate you.
By the way, man, you are spectacular. I still need your help with some mentorship.
Okay.
For some young fellas who'd love to come to your studio sometime. Thank you, my friend.
Are you free this weekend? We got a Duncanville at Esports. We have an event this weekend between 11 and 3. And if you are free, man, I'm going to post this link here, and hope to see you this weekend, bro. For real, we giving away some stuff for people. Come on out, man, this weekend between 11 and 3 in Duncanville, right down the street from you, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, bro. Bye.
No doubt, man. All right. I partner with Esports.
The conference has been locked.
And Esports is a gaming facility, whereas, you know, the gaming facility is a $200 billion industry, and we partnered together, and we doing some great stuff, man, for the community. And shout out to Danny Martin. He's from the Silicon Valley. He is a guy that went back and gave his resources back to the people. He could have said, like he said, he could be anywhere in the world, right? But he come back to the Dallas area to give hope and give belief back to the system. Let me see if I can find this virtual thing, and I appreciate every last one of y'all for tuning in. We will get back to the phone lines, but I'm glad that he mentioned that, because it's all about, you know, me helping others grow and also attaching my visibility to theirs, and then everything else can work its way out. And that's what we've been doing. Hold on, let me see if I can find this video. Appreciate everybody, man, especially for tuning in and being part of these type of episodes and beyond. Let me see. We gonna build the plane as we fly. You ain't got no alibi. Yeah. Hold on. Boom. I know I'm here. Here we go. I think it's this one right here.
I've hosted over 50.
Yeah. Here it is. I know. Come on, boom, and boom. Here we go. Danny. All right, what happened right here? Danny, where you went to, Danny? Danny, are you okay? It's going to load or something. What's going on with this thing? Download history.
I've hosted over 50.
All right. Just want to give me some problems. I tell you what, we'll do it the old school way, and we're going to do it this way. Here we go. Listen up.
I've hosted over 50 events in the esports and gaming space. I've helped over 9 gamers turn pro. That's individuals playing the game. But most importantly, over 50 individuals that have careers inside of the actual industry. These are actual individuals that have seen themselves in your position, and they took the leap, and now they're being able to do things that they love and are passionate about. My name is Danny Martin. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Esports Inc. And I started Esports to provide opportunities for students to get involved inside of the gaming and esports industry. We partnered with Dallas College to do something extremely special. We're offering a 3-month esports management program. What's even better is Dallas College can get you access to these courses at no cost to you. March 9th from 11 to 3 p.m., we'll have staff on site to help you with registration. And if you cannot make it, there will be open registration online. For more information, check out www.exposure.gg, but we are looking forward to seeing you on March 9th.
All right, man. So March 9th, man. Let me see if I can scale this video. Hold on. Bear with me. I got to do some other in-house stuff to get it. All right, boom. Then we'll put this in the loops of things, man. I appreciate everybody, man. Shout out to my guy Danny Martin, and we're gonna get things going with him. This is a gaming studio, state of the art, man. He made the Forbes list, man. He's one of the good brothers out here, man, that's trying to give back to the community. Like he said, like I said that he said that he could be anywhere in the world, but he decided to come back to Dallas to present, you know, things to help the community out. And what we are doing with this bridge relationship is also in that facility, we are building a studio for sports so we can also talk about those things at Law Nation. So, and I can't wait to showcase you guys the studio once it's built there too. And it's going to look real nice, man. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Think about this. Like I said, your gift shall make room for you. And let me know if you guys can still hear me. Let me know if the audio is still good. You guys can hear me, right? Right. Your gift shall make room for you. Who remember I was playing some Grand Theft Auto stuff, and I was playing a little games here and there, just killing time. One of those videos did like 2,000 to 10,000 views. I was just playing around on Grand Theft Auto. And somebody reached out to me and said, "Hey man, you pretty good at what you doing." And I was just BSing, man, bullsugaring around, you know, playing, just trying to kill time. And now look at what that opens up for you, right? And me going through the small things open up bigger rooms for the other things. So sometimes, you know, opportunities and avenues will open up for you guys. And I know that there's somebody, I don't know who it is, but there's somebody out here, man. They got unbelievable skill sets, unbelievable life challenges and stuff like that, but good on the games. Well, now you can do it professionally. And like I said, it's a $200 billion industry that now they are trying to, they already passed it for the state of Texas to put it in the curriculum, just like the STEM program. So you can absolutely graduate now and get a full ride scholarship to Dallas College. Playing the game, man, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I try to play Madden JB too, man, but, you know, it didn't stick to me with Madden. But, you know, appreciate your tricks, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for jumping in as well. I got my guy Too Cool, man, from the 910 UN. Talk to me, man.
Hey, Law, this your boy Cool.
What's good with you, fam? Talk to me. What's on your mind? What's on your heart?
Hey, so man, so culture issues, right?
Yeah.
So it's all fun and games. It's all fun and games until you're no longer in the building. Because remind me now, Randy Gregory came up with a deal to sign back with the Cowboys, but they added something at the last minute for him to go and leave, right? So if you didn't like the organization and the structure of the organization, why did you come to terms with a deal?
Okay, I see. I'm following you. You know, but it's
two.
Yeah. Go. Keep going.
Two. So to me, I'm a diehard Cowboys fan, but to me, there is a culture issue with the Cowboys. The culture issue is the sense of entitlement.
Right.
Dak Prescott is talked about more than Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes won multiple Super Bowls.
Right.
But Dak Prescott is still talked about more than Patrick Mahomes because he plays for the Cowboys. Right? Imagine if Patrick Mahomes was a starting quarterback for the Cowboys right now. We won 3 Super Bowls. He'd probably be a billionaire right now.
Oh my God!
The problem that we have right now, and I said a culture issue. The culture issue starts with Jerry Jones. The problem that we truly have is the Cowboy fans are too loyal. I mean, we haven't won a Super Bowl since '95.
Yeah.
But outside of that, we're the #1 franchise when it comes to sports in the world.
Right.
In the world. So what I don't like is the fact that we can look back. Yes, we won Super Bowls in the past.
Right.
Don't let the past success ruin and spoil it for the future. Because you got to call a spade a spade. That stuff that we did this year on the football field is a no-go.
It's a no-go.
Dak Prescott.
Well, hold on.
Uh-huh.
Now, you 1,000% right on that, of what they did on the field. But what they ate had nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? What they did in the training room and all of that stuff, it had nothing to do with what they did on the field, of studying, being prepared for that opportunity and everything. Those guys should have been more prepared. Now, I get it. I get it that Schultz was saying that he was comparing what the Texans do opposed to what the Dallas do, but that had nothing to do with what we look like on that field. Do you agree with that part of it?
I agree with it, but also playing sports too, though, man. When you were standing in that locker room and you have a teammate, and let's just say Dak Prescott is a quarterback, me and you both receivers. I'm number one, you number two. You got the ball the most in the Green Bay game, but I didn't get the ball that much. Now, we lost the game because Dak threw 3 interceptions. You're the number 2 receiver, but you never said nothing. But inside my head, I'm like, Dak trash. But I can't say anything. But in my head, he's in front of the camera. Jerry Jones is prepping him up, and in my head, I'm saying, like, there go your daddy. Like, we lost this game because of you, but Jerry Jones is in your corner right now. So you're going to go out here. You're going to say what you're supposed to say every single time you get on camera because Jerry Jones do the same thing. So his quarterbacks is talking like him. But when it comes time to show your performance and to do what you're supposed to do on the field, Dak do not show up.
And I get that. But at the end of the day, nobody's putting a clamper on Michael Parsons' mouth, right? So, and I get it. You know, you can still, now it's up to those players that's under contract to speak out against the things that they don't foresee, that they don't like. And that's why they do that survey. They do that hidden survey that they say, based upon your knowledge and based upon your experiences, this won't come back towards you, right? So if that was the ultimate deal there, then the Cowboys should be ranked 32nd. The Cowboys should be ranked 31st in culture. You know what I'm saying? On the aspect of the facility and the things that Schultz was talking about, because they wasn't going to be held accountable for those things. So I think it's a two-way street. I think that we all are arguing the same thing, right? That Jerry Jones, ultimately, he's not the worst owner in the National Football League, but damn it, he probably be the worst GM in the league, right? Those are two different things. He's the owner and GM. And those two things are not going to be split because he is here, right? Him and Stephen Jones with their philosophy. But what I can't use as an excuse for the Cowboys losing against the Green Bay Packers on this, and I know that Schultz wasn't here, but I can't use that they were doing tours while we was trying to work out and trying to get in the facility, and that is the reason why we couldn't beat the Green Bay Packers. I can't let fans do that. I can't let fans say that. You know.
But I think what the man is saying though is, while we're trying to work out, it's cameras in the locker room. While we're trying to do X, Y, Z, it's cameras over here. While we're trying to do this, it's cameras over there.
True.
When Jerry Jones moves, his cameras following him.
True.
So culturally, when you're talking about culture working out and stuff, historically you don't see cameras in the locker room. You can't do this because now when cameras come in the locker room, now you got the same player that's supposed to be doing the damn bench press right now. He's up doing an interview during a workout session in the locker room. I get that part.
Right. Well, I get all of that, but how come his numbers didn't improve last year at another environment? He didn't have his best season. I'm talking about Schultz, based off of his experiences. How come he didn't have the same performance that he had when he was here in Dallas?
We're talking talent versus a statement that he made. Dalton Schultz is not even a top 25 tight end in the league. So of course he's not going to do that, right? Again, so we're talking talent versus a statement right now. So he's
why are we getting credence? Why are we giving credence to him? You know what I'm saying? If he ain't outperforming Schultz. I mean, Schultz ain't outperforming Ferguson, you know, and Ferguson in his second year in the National Football League outperformed Schultz under the same expectations, with the cameras, with everybody banging on the glass, I guess, you know what I'm saying? But I get from his point. I get from the point of view.
We still fell short. Like, we're still falling short. Like, why and how are we falling short? The Dallas Cowboys is the most talked about franchise in the world. And the only way you're going to be the most talked about franchise in the world, the cameras got to be in there, and the cameras got to know every single thing that goes on with the Cowboys.
Let me ask you this, though. You think if they remove those cameras and they remove the tours, that the Cowboys are not going to be talked about?
No, I think that should be talked about, but the current players right now, a lot of players that play for the Cowboys right now are living off a sense of entitlement and off past success. Like there's no reason why the past 5 years, damn now, the Cowboys offense have been in the top 5, damn now offense, and we cannot even make it to the NFL conference championship.
Right. But I get it. And that could be the same argument, and I know the NFL, the NFC Conference Championship game is an important one, but that could be a marker of whether or not you are successful or not. But 31 other teams can say the same thing. On top of that, I love the way, I think even Parsons said this. Currently, the last 5 or 6 Super Bowls that's been played, been either your last name been Mahomes or Brady, and you can throw in 1 year of Stafford, right? So there's 30 some other odd teams that can make the same argument, yes or no?
That's true, but we're the
Cowboys. Hold on.
AFC team.
Which culture do you want to embody out of the 31 other teams? Which culture do you want? See, that's the problem, man.
I mean,
nobody know what they want.
That's a good one.
Yeah, man. Nobody know what they want, you know. And it's crazy for us to sit back and give credence and kudos to a guy that's on his way out or already out and got to sign a nice little contract with the Texans and using his experiences and saying it. Now, if we got a team of 53 guys and if I can say about 10 of them or 15 of them saying the same thing, then that's a problem. Oh man, that's a problem, you know.
But I'm just saying. I think in national football and basketball and almost every sport right now, it's not a culture issue; it's a culture difference right now. For example, what's his name? Ray Lewis would never do what Michael Parsons is doing right now. Michael Parsons go on podcasts and brings people from a team he just played onto the podcast and talk about the game they just lost to that same exact team. That's something new. Like you didn't do that 5 years ago. You didn't do it 10 years ago. But everybody want to be on this podcast thing right now. So you got players. Because if I was Michael Parsons and I lost, I ain't on nobody podcast. I'm out there on that field grinding right now.
But Ocho, you got to hear me out though, man. You got to understand that if Ray Lewis was here, Ocho, you will be able to say to yourself he would have been suspended for the first year or 2 years because they would have said, man, this is a murderer out there. They wouldn't have gave him, oh, my bad, you too cool, my bad, I'm talking to Ocho. But, man, you got to understand that, man, it would have been that, you know, because it's always different sets of circumstances, bro, and that's just the reality. Ezekiel Elliott never been arrested, never had a mugshot, never been locked up in county jail and beyond. But Tyreek Hill been, right? Tyreek Hill allegedly punched his girlfriend who was pregnant in the belly, you know? And nobody talks about those things. And whether or not a camera was there or not, they're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. We can't escape that, Ocho.
I'm saying you're right. But, let's end with this. All I want you to think about it, bring it up on one of your other shows.
Yeah.
Is it time to move on for Dak? Is it time to move on from Dak? Because to me, Dak has a sense of entitlement. He walks out there, he gets on that camera, he try to look pretty, look handsome, he say everything he's supposed to say, but when it's time to get on that field, man, Dak did not show up.
But at the end of the day, you had a car and you got a car payment, and it's the last year of the car payments contract, right? You ain't gonna just park it and say, hey, I'm just going to not pay this note for the last year. You just going to pay it out. You're going to pay it out, and that's what the Cowboys going to do.
You pay it. You
pay it out.
Pay it off. You pay them off. But I'm just saying, though, you pay it off. Because right now I think the National Football League has a problem when it comes to quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are the most entitled position because every quarterback is banking his success in his pockets off the next highest paid quarterback. Dak Prescott should not make more money than Patrick Mahomes. There ain't no way in hell Dak Prescott should make more. No quarterback in the National Football League should make more money than Patrick Mahomes.
Who do you want, Ocho? Who do you want as your quarterback right now?
You can go give me Justin Fields sometimes. Give Trey Lance a chance. It's just you got to give people a chance. Like Dak Prescott might not look good with us. He might win a Super Bowl with the Eagles, and Jalen Hurts might win a Super Bowl with the Cowboys. When it comes to the quarterback position, they either ride him till they can't ride him no more. Then they get 34 years old, then they trade him away. But the young fellas don't even get a chance because they don't give them that opportunity. Trey Lance should get an opportunity. What I would do, keep Dak this year, pay Trey Lance, let Cooper Rush leave, and then let's see what Trey Lance doing in the preseason.
And that is a possibility that the Cowboys just may do that, because we're waiting for March the 13th, right? And then we are seeing whether or not they're going to do anything to Dak Prescott contract in the first wave of the free agency. We'll sit back. Now, what they're tending to do from a Cowboys organization and franchise is that they will say that they are in communications with Dak Prescott, and the reason why we can't sign anybody premium free agent guys is because we are working on Dak Prescott contract, and then they eventually cave in and they will pay Dak Prescott. But
why Dak Prescott can't go to the Cowboys and say, you know what, I'm gonna throw y'all a monkey wrench right now. Y'all can have $15 million back. Go sign Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry right now for $8.6 million right now. Go get both of them. He don't do that.
Yeah, I mean,
he don't want to win.
Wait a minute. How do we know? We don't know, bro, what Dak Prescott is saying to them boys, man. And that is something that you thought about, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what Dak Prescott said, what he want and what he will not, accept.
Well, Dak Prescott, if you're listening, go get a pay cut.
Look, we paying $7 million for the backup quarterbacks. If you add them two together, that's $8 million right there. Trey Lance, $5. Cooper Rush by $2.5. All of the other NFL teams are not paying that much money for their backup quarterbacks, but the Cowboys are. And they are finna hit a $60 million cap hit if they don't start exercising and working out some contract stuff. So your dream may come true, but don't spoil what you have by desiring the things that you don't have, because at one point in time, the thing that you very much so, Ocho, dream for is something that you got. So you'll find out down the line, man. I appreciate you for calling in, though.
All right, no problem.
Yes, go, man. That's my guy for the 9-10. But y'all get with what I'm saying, and I understand. Who do you want? Who do y'all want? If y'all want to take a leap, and I like Trey Lance. Ooh-wee. And I don't want to placate and act like I don't like him. I like his skill set. I like what he can possibly be able to do. From an arm talent, the dude got a strong arm. I don't know. I saw some games. It appears to me that he is a one-read guy from the games that I was able to see. But if coaching staff knows how to work around that and help him out with some of those looks, then he may be something. But don't rush him, baby. I'm like good old Bill Parcells. Don't anoint him yet, man. He got some things that he got to work on, right? And he got to pick up this system. He got to get his feet together. He got a good arm, but he got to get his feet together. And I got to see him not being – look, if y'all even look back at his tapes even when he was in college, he read, if they take that away, he go run, right? And he ain't the fastest of the feet guy. He will lower the shoulder. But what happened when the law of diminishing rates of return settled in, right? You got to look at that. I like Cooper Rush to a degree. But I'm not finna build my fortress and my fountain around those two boys. Not right about now. No. I know what Dak Prescott can do. And I get it. Most of y'all can say, yeah, man, he can be good all the way up into the playoffs, and he lays that egg every year. He's like a mother hen. He going to lay an egg, man. Oh, man, for the last 3 years, man, he going to lay that egg, dog. Just wait. Just wait. He's an accident waiting to happen. But all 3 of those years, man, if y'all just sit back and look at the games and see that this dude can absolutely win you games. He can absolutely drive this team. He can absolutely give you second runner-up to MVP numbers. But can he carry the whole ship by himself? Nope. You're going to have to put more and more things around him. So if you got to put more and more things around him, what you think you're going to have to put around Cooper Rush? What you think you're going to have to put around Trey Lance? And if for those who are sitting there saying, okay, let's go get a Justin Fields, what do you think you're going to have to put around Justin Fields? You still going to have help on the offensive line. You still going to have a running back. You still going to have some defensive guys, not linebackers playing edge rushers and not safeties playing linebacker. You still going to have those issues there that you're going to have to remove from, is what I'm saying collectively. But the Cowboys are at that middle ground. Do you add more to it? Or do you say to yourself, we're going to go into the 2024 season with this team, how it's constructed right now, I foresee us still being better than the Eagles. I foresee us still winning and beating the Giants, sweeping those boys. I foresee us still being better than the Washington team. And I know every year off season, the Washington team going to talk their stuff. But historically speaking, this dude, Dak Prescott, regardless of whether you like him or not, we only had one losing season. One. And it was the year 2020. He got hurt. And I look back at even that year. If he didn't get hurt, I figured that he would probably pull through in that season and still win you north of 6 and 7 games to what we did in that 2020 season. I think the Washington team only won one more game than us. It took a pandemic and a broken ankle for this team to be out of the mix in 2020. But I'm the delusional one. We talking about 8 seasons. 1 year. And that 1 year was due to the fact that he was injured and couldn't complete that season. Hey, man, I'm just saying. Swayze from the 908, and then we have A. Lou, you're live. Swayze, you're live. Once, twice, 3 times a lady. You live, Swayze. My dog. All right, A. Lou from the 304. You're live on the Nation. Brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to Law. You're live on the Nation.
Law, what's popping? What's popping?
Hey, man, it's all good, bro. Talk to me, man.
Hey, look. I called about a week, maybe 2 ago.
About a week ago, yeah.
The writing is on the wall for Dak. I hate to say it, but it's the truth, man. See them bumbling and rumbling around his contract. Go ahead and just give him the money. Go ahead and give him the 2-year, 3-year deal. He's going to be the highest paid because he's next up. It's not because what he did not do. It's because he's just the next up.
Right.
They set those Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. They set the standard for the quarterback. He is not going to go into a deal and say, I'm going to take less to help you, because they have shown, especially when he was even franchise tag, they've shown they won't put money up to help him out. They've shown that.
Mm-hmm.
They had $90 million in franchise tag and still had money to play with, and then they signed what's the DN, Griffin and McCoy. All these over the heels, 30-plus-year-old injured players who are stuck in their ways.
Right.
They can't change from. You can't go from a 4-3 to a 3-4.
Right.
In a pandemic, and then expect them to take over and say, "All right, you're just the NFL player, supposed to learn it." It doesn't work like that. The West Coast and the spread offense are two different things. It don't work like that. It takes time.
Oil and water.
It takes time. Yeah, it takes time. Dak, he made it look good because, like I've always said, they don't want to get rid of this '90s offense.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, Jason Garrett has the same offense. Scott Linehan has the same offense. Kellen Moore has the same offense. And they just pushed everything and still doing the same thing. It's the same offense for the past 20 years. They have not figured out that, consistent motion confuses everybody.
Right.
They have not figured out a great run design, how to run the ball with lesser running backs.
Right.
Singletary over there in Texas, he can get yards. He can give you 1,000 yards, but you're telling me that you don't have all these Pro Bowls up front and you can't figure out what fits them? This isn't the day and age of the 90s of we're just going to go out here and beat you because we're that much better and that much athletic and we paid this much. That's not the game.
Yeah.
The game is scheme. The game is knowledge. The game is fast. The game, the game has changed, and they had not figured out that you cannot run that same ideal or thought processes out there, and not and expect it to work. That's not what today is.
No.
Everybody's running a 4-4. Damn, your damn D lineman right now running 4-5, 4-6.
Right.
Come on now. Your quarterbacks are running 4-4s, 4-3s. Everybody's in the 4-4s. Everybody's 6'5". Everybody's 250 and above. Now what?
Now what? Yeah. You're going to have to, and that's why if you look at what Atlanta Falcons did, they got Zach Robinson, and who's going to be a who system? Oh, a Kyle Shanahan system. Oh, and excuse me, they brought in Raheem Morris, who's going to be a defensive philosophy, and we seen this last year, whereas the Texans did the same thing. They brought in D'Amico Ryans, and they brought in Bobby Slowick, who's from what system? It's a system mixed in with a scheme and a principle that they are doing, right? So I'm quite sure Atlanta should cook this year. It's going to be one of my teams that I think is going to cook this year, man.
You would hope, but the problem is they need that quarterback. You got to have somebody out there that's athletic enough and smart enough to throw that ball.
Yeah. They just need that quarterback, man.
And you know what the problem I see with all this is that we, as the Dallas Cowboys, we're behind on the times. So once everybody figures out how to play the McVays and how to play the Shanahans and how to do this, how they stop these offenses.
What?
And guess what we're going to go to? After they've already figured out everything.
We're going to go to the Shanahan system. You crazy as hell, man. Yeah, you're right, though.
Why? But we don't have forward thinking because even Jerry, even Steven, even all of them, they still live off the 90s, the back of the 90s players, the back of the 90s Super Bowls. They have not done, you know what I mean? Like you haven't done anything relevant outside of talk crazy about your players or talk crazy about there's no culture issue, which we all know there is because you can't sit in the press box and say there's no culture issue, but you got players on the field and say they are. There is. It's
two open-end arguments, like an open-end question, right? But here's what I see collectively with the Joneses. It's a principle that I literally, and we do like to a degree. But what we are saying is, let's not fall on the sword only for this principle. We do like when you go out there and find guys like a Deron Bland, when you go find a Terrence Steele, right? Or when you figure out ways to elevate a guy that you found in the 4th round. You know, that's good stuff, and I'm talking about a quarterback by the name of Dak Prescott. What we are as fans asking the Cowboys or telling the Cowboys to do is that can you just dibble-dabble a little bit in the free agency on the front end? We know that you got burned by Brandon Carr, who when you really look at it, he didn't play extremely terrible if you look at the numbers and things. It's just the fact that, hey, you spent $50 million. It didn't play out to the way that you want it to, right? He had very much so terrible games against the I want to say the Detroit Lions with Megatron. But who don't, right? But by him being a Cowboy, people talk about that. That Odell Beckham catch. We absolutely won that game. But it's talked about bad because that was a $50 million asset for us for the Cowboys, right? That it somehow happened to be a spectacular catch on Brandon used cars, right? So that's just how it goes, man.
Look, and that's how I look at it with Brandon Carr.
That was 12 years ago, man.
True. You look at the numbers, he didn't do that bad, right?
Right.
But at the same, what scheme when we running, he didn't come from the same scheme that we ran.
Right.
So you can't throw these apples with the oranges and expect them to become oranges. You can't do it. It just doesn't make sense.
Right.
So if you, and that's that 90s philosophy. I paid for you. You should be able to adapt.
Right, because I paid. Right.
Yeah, no, it does not work like that. It doesn't work like that. It's more complex and it's more of a thinking process. And do you have the skill set? That's, I can't become the president and I'm a damn operations manager. That I don't know how to do that. I know how to run the operation, not oversee the overall company. Like that's something totally different. So you can't throw people in these you can't put people in these situations to where they have no knowledge of how to succeed and you're telling them to go learn it. Right. If they don't have the skill set to do it, it's just not going to work. It just doesn't work like that.
And here's another thing. By us being the most visible franchise, polarizing franchise, the popularity contest of a franchise, I heard someone say, man, Law, man, we got the talent. We got all of these players to make Pro Bowl. That's a popularity contest. You know,
Right.
because Tyler Biotish, he's a Pro Bowl center. Why? Because he played for the Cowboys, man. And he was an alternate at that point. And even
Anywhere
if you go anywhere else, man, they probably wouldn't even know who his name is, man. You know, and on top of that, you know, even with the Brandon Carr, just because you paid all of that money to Brandon Carr and say, okay, now let's get the job done. But look at his other people, man. We had Gerald Sensabaugh, man. We had J.J. Wilcox. We had some guys, man, they were picking up from the streets, you know, and said, okay.
Exactly.
And then we had Rob Ryan, you know what I'm saying, with the hair all the way down his back and whole bunch of crazy stuff. That it wasn't just him. It was the way this team was kind of constructed. And now people look at it like, oh, man, don't touch free agencies no more. We've been burned. We supposed to win it all. Just like the whole talking conversational piece. Remember when they paid Dak Prescott? A third of the fan base, I would say a half of the fan base, not a third, half of them was saying basically, hey, Dak Prescott, we better win a Super Bowl now. We gave him his money. But what were the other things? Like when Justin Herb got his money, did they say, hey, man, they better win the Super Bowl there? When Watson got his money, who really drove up the price now, you know, for that 200 and whatever crazy, did they say they better win the Super Bowl? Kyler Murray, did they say they better win the Super Bowl? But the Cowboys are held to a different degree. On top of that, them boys got $250 million, man. There's only one person that got paid their money and won, and his name is Pat Mahomes. Keep going.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought up Justin Herbert. Now, you know, there's a reason why they don't say anything about him, and they give him a bunch of grace, which I'm not even gonna get into that. That's a totally different side. But let's go ahead and say you give Dak Prescott, Keenan Allen, what's the
Williams,
the young
Mike
boy
Williams, Mike Williams, yeah,
Mike Williams, and then the young boy, the three-headed monster. They should be killing over there. The rookie they just got.
Yeah.
The tight end is no slouch.
Yeah.
Yep. Tight end. We wanted him out of TCU. The tight end is no slouch. And you had Eckler.
Yeah.
And you had Eckler's backup, Kelly, I think.
Yeah.
There is a reason. And on defense, now, if you put Bosa and Khalil Mack in Dallas, you're going to tell me.
Oh, my God.
What?
Keep going. Oh, my goodness. They would have ate.
Now you put those people in Dallas.
Right.
First of all, all three of those receivers might be Pro Bowlers.
Man, you cooking. Keep going.
You got Bosa and Matt. Hold on. We want Kendrick. Kendrick just came from there. You got Derwin James over there. You had J.C. Jackson over there. Now, look, you got these players, and you can't even get to the playoffs. Hold up. You had Wonder Boy over there.
Keep cooking.
Kellen Moore. You had Kellen Moore over there. And now you couldn't even get to the playoffs because those 10-yard curls just doesn't work in today's football. We haven't figured that out. Okay, anyway. Right. So you got, I'm not picking on him, but at the same time, this is the golden boy, and they're giving him grace along with a lot of other quarterbacks. But at the same, to me, I would take that three-headed monster over what we have right now.
Oh my gosh!
I would take Keenan Allen, Mike Williams,
you cooking, bro.
Johnson. I would take them over what we got right now.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb can cancel out Keenan Allen, but Keenan Allen gets open.
Yeah.
He runs a 4.7, but he gets open.
Yeah.
Hey, outside of that, what else do we have?
Man, they would have been crucified if we just changed the quarterback and just pick up the LA Chargers now. I'm about to say San Diego. If you pick up the player for player and you just pick up the entirety of that roster and put Dak Prescott in, boy, because they would have been talking about Kenneth Murray. They'd be like, hey, Kenneth Murray, he ain't no slouch too now, you know.
There you
the
go.
linebacker,
There you
know.
go. He's not.
Oh, man. No. Rolo, don't do Kalen Allen like that. He's 45 years old. Come on, man.
He's not, but this is the thing, Law, and I ain't going to hold up too much of your time.
No, you good.
Thanks for letting me be a voice. But what I'm saying is, it is not the same. When they do the way they are treating that, it's not the same as they do any other quarterback. Granted, we are the Dallas Cowboys,
true,
but at the same time, he does a lot. He does a lot more and handles and juggles a lot more than what we know. He does a good job of keeping his comments to straight and narrow, because he doesn't give you a lot of wiggle room when you asking these questions. He gives you direct, and he gives you direct answers, and he doesn't give you a roundabout or any window. Like he doesn't give you these things that you got to think about.
Yeah.
So he holds the PR down. I told you 2 weeks ago, the writing was on the wall. They're going to play this out. They're not going to sign him. They're going to move his numbers over to next year. They're going to sign Trey Lance probably mid-season to late season next year, or mid-season to the end of the season, whatever the case is. They'll probably sign him then, because they, like I told you, they value those draft picks more than anything. We have never traded for a traded a player and got good value except with Herschel Walker. When have we ever done any type of trade that said, "Oh wow, we got some good draft picks back"?
Yeah.
Never. Because guess what? That is not Stephen Jones' MO. That's not Jerry's MO. Their MO, Jerry's MO is to pay. Stephen Jones is to draft, and that's Will McClay. If Will McClay leaves, I guarantee you this, it'll go to shit.
Yeah.
Because you can't replicate that. There's some things you can replicate, and some things you can't. You can't replicate Pat Mahomes. You can't replicate Brady.
Right.
You can't replicate certain front office people, and Will McClay is one. You
can't replicate
sometimes
that.
you win and sometimes you lose.
Yeah.
You take him out, I guarantee you it goes to shit. You're gonna have Steven up there talking like he's some type of player evaluator. Stop it, bro.
Come on,
stop it, please. Like if you run it, y'all run this like a mom and pop shop. You got your aunties, your cousins, your granny, your mama, your daddy, your sons, all paid under the Dallas Cowboys. Stop it.
Right.
Like get out of here.
Right. And that goes back to my argument, man. Like, man, and that's what I want people to understand. When we say two things can be true, right? And I appreciate you so much, Lou, man, for calling in, bro. Oh, my God. Yeah. Appreciate you, man.
No, for sure.
Good call from Lou, bro. Man, what a way to end out these conversations, man.
Goodbye.
I think that all together, man, all callers were great. I think Big Tay was Trayvon Trayvon Austin. Was he a trade acquisition? Because our two biggest trade acquisitions was Amari Cooper and Big Tay. Trayvon Austin, I can call him my offense. Y'all help me out, man. But I think that that's our only biggest trade acquisitions that we had. And if you guys honestly want me to tell you that Trayvon Austin, he was probably him and Amari Cooper were our biggest trades that we had in this decade. Now, I ain't talking about Joey Galloway or the Mike Williams. I'm talking about those trades that was successful. I got to give it to those two. Because as much as I say, man, Dak Prescott won a playoff game versus the Seattle Seahawks, go back and watch what Big Tay did, man. I think Trayvon Austin, is it Trayvon or Tavon? I think Tavon. I think it's Tavon Austin, right? Call him Big Tay. I think that his kickoff return gave us a short field, and then we were able to drive it. I think Zeke had 130 yards rushing that year, 2018. I think that those were ways that we were able to win. It's just that in that game, I believe, and I'm not wee-wooing y'all. Shout out to my guy, Balls Cowboys Sports, man. Check him out. I'm not wee-wooing you. But I think that was the year we had Allen Hurns to get hurt in that game. And he was our safety valve release guy. But we going back years now, though. We going back all the way to 2018. and the Cowboys the following year just fiddle-faddle around with a whole bunch of other stuff. And I think we ended up being 8-8 the following year. But, neither here nor there. I just want to give a shout-out once again to Prize Picks. Be sure to check out Prize Picks. Download Prize Picks. Use promo code LAW. And check out my Twitter handle or X app handle. And you yourself can follow my picks. And we were victorious today with Prize Picks coming out above with $2,500, man. So I really appreciate each and every last one of you all for being here. Let's get to the super chats. And my guy Hot Boy said, "What did Dalton Schultz did to you?" He didn't do nothing to me, man. We always support Dalton Schultz here. He just blocked me. He blocked me, and then he unblocked me, and then he blocked me again. And Schultz is just that dude. I like his skill set. I like what he brings to the table. But he's the ops now, and he's literally letting it show that he is the ops. Ain't that right, ladies and gentlemen? Cowboy Nation, man, don't y'all fall into the traps. The Cowboys got plenty of things that we can go back and forth and say, these are the issues. I get it for those who say winning is not what's first here. I'm not arguing that. You can all have that as an argument. But for the other organizations, there are a lot of other issues. And if we say to ourselves that only the Cowboys go through these pitfalls and nobody else, then you fooling yourself. If we say to ourselves, hold on, ventriloquist law. Let me pull this up. Bear with me, y'all. Gotta do it another way so that we can pull this up. Bear with me. Boom. Because I want to read out all of the super chats. Thank everybody, man, for your support. And boom, here we go. Thank y'all. Boom. There we go. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like, share this content. But before we go any further, salute to my guy. And this is what we're going to be at doing this weekend.
I've hosted over 50 events in the esports and gaming space. I've helped over 9 gamers turn pro. That's individuals playing the game. But most importantly, over 50 individuals that have careers inside of the actual industry. These are actual individuals that have seen themselves in your position, and they took the leap, and now they're being able to do things that they love and are passionate about. My name is Danny Martin. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Exposure Inc. And I started Exposure to provide opportunities for students to get involved inside of the gaming and esports industry. We partnered with Dallas College to do something extremely special. We're offering a 3-month esports management program. What's even better is Dallas College can get you access to these courses at no cost to you. March 9th from 11 to 3 p.m., we'll have staff on site to help you with registration. And if you cannot make it, there will be open registration online. For more information, check out www.exposure.gg, but we are looking forward to seeing you on March 9th.
No doubt, man. We look forward to seeing all your beautiful faces out there if you are in the Dallas area. We have here some super chats that we want to get to, ladies and gentlemen. And the first super chat is from Sanjay. I think we already went over this one. Not everyone is lying. Yeah, and that's a great way to look at it. We do have some issues here, but we're not the only one, is what I'm saying. There are younger franchises, and he's talking about the time we were going back and forth over the Texans. But feel free, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys love the Texans, man, check out their program. Check out what they got to offer and these sorts of things as an organization and franchise. Check out what they have to offer. Because if we only looking at it from this particular look of it and say, well, it's only the Cowboys that got all of these issues, then I get it, right? But everybody else have issues too. It's just that we are brought out to the forefront of everything. All right, and I have here Kenneth says, I believe when we hear the word culture, Dalton is so, that's what my guy Ken, he called in already. He's talking about the mindset and the mental fortitude of these players, which could be a situation there. B Bird says the tours is just a symptom of a bad culture. And I salute to my guy B Bird. Appreciate him when he calls in. He gives a very fair and balanced approach to life, and he gives great examples. But he's talking about a symptom, right? Not an actual situation that the Cowboys are in. They just symptoms. You have symptoms of a cold or symptoms of a flu. Doesn't mean that you have the flu, right? But I can say this, ladies and gentlemen. What do y'all want? Do y'all want no media? Do y'all want no tours? Do y'all want no Oxnard? Do y'all want it for the Cowboys to give that a try? Because what's good for the goose is also good for the gander. We won 16 games at the crib. Was that because we didn't have music booming throughout the stadium? Was that only on the backs of the players? Did the coaches coach right then at that time? I need to know. Like, I really want to know, like, who did the finite information of saying, with empirical information, empirical evidence saying that, hey, the reason why these guys are losing is because of the atmosphere, or it's because of the fans, or it's because Law Nation didn't wear his lucky socks. There you go. Dramatic hit it right on the head. Facts is bigger than the tour. Right? Right. Mike Woe says, but Law, this isn't the first time we heard the Cowboys, and they are just a show. Yeah, I mean, and it won't be the last. It will not be the last. Regardless of whether or not, look, if I was an alien from the other side of the ice wall, right? If I came down from outer space or from the deep seas, and I was here for the last 2 or 3 weeks, here watching sports, trying to identify what sports is all about, I would think that the Cowboys just won the Super Bowl. I would literally think that the Cowboys just won the Super Bowl. Why? Because everybody talks about the Dallas Cowboys. The 49ers is left off the hook. It left off the hook. They were 9 yards away from winning the Super Bowl. And one of their coaching staff said that they didn't know the Super Bowl playoff rules, or maybe not the playoff rule, but the Super Bowl overtime rules. Let a Cowboy player or a Cowboy coach say the exact same words. And every single day they be talking about, man, they don't know the rules over here, man. Oh, my goodness.
Who make the rules, right? Do it left, do it right, do it left.
Let me know where I'm lying. Let me know where I'm lying. Here we go right here. Hold on. Right here. Get out the way. 2014, is that Martin? 2014. How many of our players have taken a pay cut and Stephen Jones just sit on his money, right? He had $15 to $20 million of free money, Stephen says, and the earmarked it, miss me with the take the pay cut. Who's not getting the prime free agents? We are not getting the prime free agents. Appreciate you so much, Martin. Yeah. 9 yards away, Verdi. Hey, Twin still somewhere hurt, man. You know. Oh, my goodness, man. Twin somewhere still hurt, balled up. And he said that, man, they fired Steve Wilkes, right? And they promoted a guy from within, and then they went and got the guy that used to coach defense for the Chargers, I believe, over there. And he hot, man. He hot. He's hot. Brian Bradford says, I'm trying to do Q&A all the way, y'all, so I'm going to read your comments, man. He says, Law, did y'all have to meet and greet the day before the playoff game in Green Bay, West Coast Cowboys, ? There was a meet and greet at 915 Sports Tours. Be sure to check us out at these tours, 915 Sports Tours. They had a meet and greet the day before the playoff game there. News flash, there were also Green Bay Packers fans there. There was people who didn't even make it to the playoff there. And as well as there was, I believe in the attendance was Dorrance Armstrong, Malik Hooker, and who else was there? Navell Gallimore. They were there at the events. They were there a day before the game. They were there out there a day before the game. That's customary between, I believe all 30 teams do have some type of social gathering or some type of meet and greets. They do have free time. I'm not saying that if those boys didn't have those meet and greets there, that we would have won. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, hey, for the 16 weeks we did won during the regular season, that there were no meet and greets, right? There were no. But there was there. So are we saying that basically, granted for what we all trying to quantify, that these players should only play on Sunday and not do any type of social gatherings or interactions? I just need to know, man, are y'all going to fault West Coast Cowboy and 915 Sports Tours or Cowboys experiences when they have these type of showcasings for the fans? And these players are basically, because they charge pretty high for 1 to 2 hours sitting down signing autographs. They may do a quick Q&A. Is that the issue? I'm just trying to find a solution. Not before the games, but it's been customary. The 90 Cowboys did it as well. When they did have meet and greet. It absolutely started in 1990. It started in the 90s, believe it or not. Barry Griffin been doing this from Cowboys experience for over 30 years. Meets and greets. So now it's a problem. I'm just saying the Cowboys been doing those things before when we were winning. I'm just saying, though, he built a business model off of it. Right? So it just, it started before. So I'm just trying, and players do have off days. They do have off days. They do have the cancer research when they go to the sick hospitals and shake hands and kiss babies. They do have other interactions. It's making them human just a little bit. So this is how it goes. And Brian, I get it. It don't matter, man. It don't matter if they was in the bed tucked away the night before Green Bay. They were going to take that L, bro. You see how Green Bay jumped all over us? Look, the thing is with Navier Gallimore, I don't care if you done pumped him up with steroids, He wasn't going to shoot through nobody's blocks. No. Navier Gallimore been Navier Gallimore. And I hate to beat up the man, right? But we didn't lose that game because of Malik Hooker. Right? I'm just saying, I'm not trying to placate for any of these boys. But we were not prepared. So what we can't do here, ladies and gentlemen, as fans, is only talk bad about our players when we lose, but everything is all fan and dining when we win. No, man. I get it, man. I understand. Shoot, there's somebody down the street, man, that'll drink a whole fifth of hen and still beat you up and down that court. He just better than you. You know what I'm saying? Joker be beating you all. There's a drunk right now that can dunk and do all type of fadeaway shots and everything. And I know it's a crazy comparison, but that's just how it is, man. But you got to be prepared, man, and the Cowboys were not prepared. They had an ample enough time. We can't use that. It's at home. They're supposed to have been comfortable. And Green Bay flew out here to Dallas, knocked on our doors and said, hey, what's up, homie? Stick 'em up. Truth be told, ladies and gentlemen, if the kicker didn't miss the kicks, Green Bay would have had the 49ers that L. Did y'all see it? Who saw the Green Bay versus the 49ers? The 49ers were really sweating. Did the 49ers ran through Green Bay? Who actually saw that? Green Bay was rolling, man. Yeah, the 49ers went to the Super Bowl or what have you, but man, they were sweating like R. Kelly at an all-girls camp. Like Meek Mills when knowing that the tape about to come out. Man, they were sweating, man. Oh, man, they were sweating all the way up to the end. Defense had to make some type of a reprieve or a hope. Nick was doing the Green Bay choked at the end of that game. Yeah, man, shoot, they were sweating, bro. they were backpedaling like Christina Mack, you know, that dated that dude. What's his name? Rick Ross. Man, they were sweating, baby. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Y'all just don't want to hear it right now. Y'all think that the Cowboys was the only team to get beat down like that, man. Probably was. Us and the Browns, right? We got beat down real bad. Y'all know Meek Mill's right there, man. They ain't gay, man. Why are you gay? Meek Mill ready to fight everybody. The thing is, when it's truth, you don't have to give nobody no rebuttal, right? Yes, indeed, man. Right now, man, you know, shoot. Puff Daddy looking for some type of hope that somebody else can have some type of scandal to come through. Tyson is fighting the Paul brother. Yep. Tyson is doing his thing. All right, I think I spoke enough to you guys, man, about everything. But don't spoil what you have, man, you know, by desiring the things that you don't have, because at one point in time, the things that you do have is something you wish for, dream for. I totally get y'all frustration. I'm mad. Y'all think I'm happy about this? Y'all think that all of this stuff, all of this work that I put in, that I'm happy about losing to the Green Bay? I like what my guy Cowboys beat. Y'all just wanted us to lose a little bit better than what we lost in. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, they were running dog before Aaron Jones can get touched. It was 8 yards running before he was even touched. In the first quarter, he was averaging 9.2 yards per rush. And we still supposed to have been able to win. I guess they shouldn't have did those meet and greets, man. I guess Malik Hooker, if he would have stayed in the bed and woke up early and drunk his vitamin water, you know, his Keegan water and everything, he would have been able to stop that, man. Let that sink in, man. We still have the expectation to win a game when a dude, somebody's grandmother in the wheelchair, could have averaged you 3.5. How's that even possible? We didn't play that type and style and kind of caliber defense all year long, and we go into the Green Bay game and say, oh, let's throw in something new. They would never see us doing this. Are we a man-to-man team or a zone team? And for the last 3 years, man, if there's any team that I don't want to lose to in the playoffs, are the Green Bay Packers and the 49ers, man. Die-hard Cowboy fans understand. And we talking about, man, you know, the quarterback's money. I can't make this stuff up, man. We're talking about Dak Prescott being the issue. He sure wasn't the solution, too. He got his warts. Man, it's a collective. Notice we played better on the road than at home, Law. I don't know, man. That Bills game was on the road. We were literally undefeated. The last home game we lost was in versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year, man. For 16 weeks. Yes, they shouldn't have been doing those tours. That's what y'all implying, man. Them tools, man. Them damn tools, man. People banging on the glass. Parsons! I know that's you, Parsons. Parsons! Parsons! Yo, I mean, that's what it is, man. Oh, my gosh, man. If only we stop them tools, man, we'll be able to win something, man. A playoff game. Yeah. That is what it is. But everything must come to an end. There'll be 31 other teams. They'll be looking for excuses next year. There will be only one team to lift up that Lombardi trophy and say, hey, no excuses. We love it here. Yeah. It's so good here I can eat off the floors. That's how it was for the Eagles. I'm old enough to remember that. They had no issues last season, season 4 last now, on their journey and on their way to the Super Bowl. But when they got to the Super Bowl to ultimately lose, the grass was wet, man. We couldn't get our feet down, man. All of the excuses poured upon the Eagles nation, if there's ever such a thing. But all through that year, they was like, no excuses. See, we figure out ways to win. Jalen Hurts technically is better than Pat Mahomes. He outperformed Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl. No excuses. Got great coaching staff. Nicholas Sirianni should be coach of the year. He's excellent. No excuses. And now you can't find an Eagle fan that's in the corner of Sirianni. Howie Roseman and them. It's funny how life can change just like that. What a difference a season makes. And we can say the same about Dan Quinn. Two things can't be right, and two things can't be true. Dan Quinn, before he got here, we were talking about the other coach, Mike Nolan. The Mike and Mike experience that year, it was terrible. And before Mike Nolan, there was a guy by the name of Papa Marinelli. These things can be true, that Dan Quinn was better than both of those coaches. Let me know if I'm lying. Let me know if I'm lying. Go ahead.
You ain't lying.
So yeah, it's all about perspectives. Cowboy Nation and everybody that's listening, what do you want? No tours, no fan experiences as it relates to going out to Oxnard, no reports. Maybe the Cowboys can stay focused in and only hear what old media gets from the Jones family and how the 3-letter and the 4 letters interpret it. Is that what you want? Is this what y'all want? Or do you want something tangible that you can see from like people like me and others? They can point out some of the things that even the players are saying and hold them accountable to it and say, nah, man, you can't use dropping the ball on Sunday from when you was working out on a Wednesday. You can't use that, no. Or somebody tapping the glass. Brother, you in an AC facility. Brother, you reminded me of the people that even when Moses got a chance to let them across the Red Sea, and they wandered around in the wilderness for 40 years, clothes didn't wither. There was a cloud that covered them when it was hot. There was a cool wind that blowed upon the people when it was warm. Food fell out of the sky. They had everything, but they were still searching and looking for the promised land. They had multitudes of things to happen good for them, and they still complained. They still cried because they wanted something tangible that they can touch. They no longer wanted a God that they can serve that they couldn't see. Somebody getting some words of wisdom today. That's what you guys want? Huh? And complain and complain. Until you said, you know what, let's do away with the things that I'm providing for them and give them what they want. Is that what you guys want? Still complaining. But there's always somebody with worse conditions, worse circumstances, that don't complain, that figure it out, that kept their head high, kept moving forward, kept understanding with the mindset that this too shall pass. The Kansas City Chiefs, ranked 29th in the NFL Players Association's team report. I was just updated that this was an older report. And they got worse, and they got back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. The food quality was poor. The training room was poor. The strength and conditioning room was poor. The treatment of families were poor. The locker room and everything was poor. I guess that Dalton Schultz should go play for the Kansas City Chiefs too, so he can give us some insider information. So it is what it is. Simply put, it's their turn. Yes, indeed. But I don't care if the Kansas City Chiefs win 10 Super Bowls in a row. And I don't give a dog what the Texans are doing. As it relates to every guy that goes through the Texans locker room, get a real good glory hole. From Superhead, it can suck really good. I don't want it. I'm a true and true die-hard Cowboy fan. And I refuse to go to root for any other team. I refuse to go root and support for other teams. I'm here whether or not they win. I'm here whether or not they lose. And I'm here whether or not we have a draw. But some of y'all, if y'all are willing to leave on and move on and cry and complain about this and that, then go. There's the door for you. And if you're willing to say that I'm delusional, just make sure that you put fanatic on the front of it. And just make sure that even when I'm dead and gone from this plane, make sure you put a star next to my tomb or somewhere near it. Because just know for sure that I'm a true die-hard Cowboy fan. And I may be a fanatic, and I may be crazy with it, but one way or another, Law Nation is gonna support his team. And I'm crazy, yes indeed. But for those who hear the gunshots or hearing the crackling of the gun and hear the gunshot and run and cowardly fold like wallets and lawn chairs, so may it be you. But there's no that Law Nation ain't going nowhere, baby. Cause at the end of the day, win, lose, or draw, I'm here.
Nobody does it better. They can come closer than close, yeah. Original they never would be.
Yeah, baby. Come on, I got a few of them. All I need is a few strong men. I don't need all of y'all. I just need a few of those who's willing to go into the lowdown and go into the trenches and willing to fight against the 3-ladder and the 4-ladder networks. Yes, indeed. There will be people that will roll with you when you win. And there will be people roll with you when you are famous and you are popular. But then when it's time for you to go down and get it out of the mud, are they still there with you? Are they still rocking with you? No. They are so busy looking at what the Chiefs are doing. They're too busy looking at what the 49ers are doing. And I told y'all, I said, yeah. 49ers might make it to the Super Bowl. They may do all of that good stuff over there. But at the end of the day, that's them. They can bang, bang, rainbow parade gang over there, but over here, baby, win, lose, or draw, we gonna still stay true to us and what we do. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to absolutely nothing but the best. Let's go, baby. You know, y'all go ahead and be 49ers fans and Chiefs fans, but I'm gonna still be here.
Damn.
Yeah. Come on. Y'all be Texans fans. Come on. Oh, yeah. Y'all roll them credits. It's free. Free at last. Thank God Almighty. Y'all can be free. Come on. Be Washington Commanders fan. There's an Eagle room for you. Come on. Shout out to everybody, man. Let's roll them credits once again, baby. Hey.
Need them tens, I need that change to the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses
Come on.
I play, charge it to the game.
Come on. Let everybody roll with you though. Judas was a disciple. Sanjay, appreciate you. Kenneth, thank you. B-Bird, appreciate you. Mike, whoa, thank you. Come on, hey. Shout out to you, Freddie.
You just rock what's on the shelf and I'm not feeling
Not feeling it, baby.
For the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this.
Hey.
Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal.
Let me ask you this.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Come on. Let's get it, baby.
Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. I just be off the dome.
Come on.
I never own no chrome. Too many foes and clothes. Yeah. I be at home alone. I be in zones alone. I be on road alone. Yeah. I've been really in the field. Love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Riggs.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Like the ticket to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check the song. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, kinda. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Stop, thief! Come back, thief!
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Let me crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
I
ain't mad at y'all, man.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, on paper, they're a better team. Right. They have all the assets and resources that we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't. Wow.
Shout out to you, Kevin. Appreciate you. Nichols, appreciate you. Be sure, check us out this weekend. Hey.
Take a drag of my cigarette. Bring me out, breathe you in. Yeah. Take a bite of my burger, babe. Save a last bite for you.
If I offended anyone, charge it to my beard, not my heart. With the street lights all alone.
You have an unnatural allegiance to losers. It's not like
Could I be your player too?
All right.
And another one.
And another one. I think you was the one to love.
You ain't lying.
7 wonders all in one.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns. But there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know, we don't know.
All alone. You know it's dangerous to go alone.
All I ask.
Don't let the street lights hit you. Could I be on?
Come on.
Play it too.
Come on.
I'll follow.
Swallowed up.
Wherever you go.
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up?
Play it too.
Until next time, DC for life. And remember, you're listening to absolutely nothing but
So far, if a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far, if a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
I want me some glory hole.
Fly on.